man around by her apron string. Run for powder and for scoreboard hair. That man I love would not go nowhere. Saw the St. Louis Blues, just as blue as blue can be. That man's got a heart like a rock cast in the sea.
Greetings and salutations, everyone. I hope you are all doing well. This is the Academic Foxhole. Welcome to Tales from the Foxhole. This is episode 3 of City of Light and Shadow, a Fate French Resistance game. Hi, everyone. It looks like we're live. We got the lights. It seems like we're going. Hi, everyone. How are you? I hope you're doing very well. So I want to thank you all for being here. This is episode 3. We are live. Episode 3 is a solo episode, just Tango and I. So this is a campaign where all of our players are protagonists in the French Resistance, a sort of gritty game using fate, dealing with a lot of issues of what are you doing? Like, what does it mean to do this? What are you like? How do you sort of fight in the face of such overwhelming destruction, and what kind of toll does it take on you as a person? And but because when reading the memoirs of resistance members from different resistance movements, they always said that one of the most difficult things for them, the most nerve-wracking things, was that they often would have to do things by themselves, right? They weren't always with their groups, with their fellow resistance members. Sometimes they just had to get on a tram, a trolley, and move across town, or do something on their own, pick up things. And when they do these things on their own, they never know, like they have no backup, and they never know if they'll make it back. And then, of course, after having been away, meeting up with your friends again, you never know if they have been turned, if they're safe. And so, like, I really wanted to be able to sort of get that sort of paranoia that sort of came with doing this sort of solo work as a resistance member, as well as giving our resistance members, our players, a really good chance to sort of work on their own and really dig into their characters by themselves. And that's sort of what these are for. And this is our first solo episode of season 2. Let's get some logistics out of the way. Hey, logistics. So first off, the first thing I want to say is there are a couple ways.
Hey, Trooper, this is logistics. How you doing today?
How you doing?
This is how logistics talks.
This is how the logistics talk.
This is how logistics talks.
It's the logistics.
Mr. Logistics.
There are a bunch of ways in which you can support us. And the most important way you can support us is by watching the show. That's it. You watch the show and you are supporting us. So you can watch the show. You can retweet to let people know that we're live. Tell your friends, have them come and watch the show. If you want, you can follow the channel or subscribe. You can also more specifically support in 2 different ways. You can give us donations or bits. All of those donations and bits will be read off. Any messages you send will be read off at the half and at the end. You can also support our Patreon. There's a Patreon which I use to go and pay the cast to make sure that our cast is supported. Also pay the artist and composer as well. So that's right. That's all. We're on any kind of other types of things we might need. So you can support through Patreon or tips or donations, or you can just be here. We also have extra credit, because this is the Academic Foxhole. All of our channel bits are clearly going to be extra credit, and we have extra credit. And there are 2 things you can do with this extra credit. One thing you can do is that you can provide our heroes fate points, which actually, and as a matter of fact, dearest Tango, you only have 1 fate point. I need to mark that out.
I made a decision right before we went on air that gave me just 1 fate point. So I don't know why I did that before a solo episode. Everyone's going to be very angry with me, including the cast members.
And I don't know if you've noticed, but I've added to our overlay a mark letting you know how many fate points our people have, so I'm very excited about that. And I'm going to take over to our map screen for a moment. We have, so you can use your extra credits to give our players fate points, but only 4 per session, and they represent support from London, which is, bankrolling our resistance. And we have 4 donations of fate points today. We have 1 from Void Smoker. Let me hand that over. We have 1 from Rissa, who is one of our amazing mods. Let me send that over. There we go. We have 1 from Ice Bunny, who is our frozen logomorph. And then
you take a drink for every person who's doing this. This will become a drinking game. So yeah,
yes.
Bottoms up.
Bottoms up. And
Bottoms
then our last one is from
water.
Strike Red Kite, who is also pretty amazing. And that leads us up to a total of 8.
Strike, you are very amazing, by the way. I mean, everyone's amazing here.
I mean,
who's watching? Everyone, obviously.
Yes.
It's just, I've seen Strike around a lot. And Strike's great.
And then let's take us back to our RP screen. Looks like, there we go. So, and there's one other thing you can do to support if you like with your extra credits. We are currently in we have a community goal. That's what I'm going to say. We have a community goal, and that community goal is this. It is the middle of occupied France. The team has decided a number of the radio operators in occupied Paris have been captured and compromised, and so there are very few radio operators left in the area. You basically just have Regina, and that puts a lot of pressure on her. She's got a lot of messages you have to send, and that's very dangerous. And so she's been training some women, seamstresses, various other people like that, to sort of do radio operating work, but they don't have radios. And so she has requested radios from London, which that meeting involved some potential violence and insults with their contact Falstaff, so that was tricky. But they want 5 radios. 5 radios is a lot, and you can help support them get those radios by donating your extra credit points to our community goal of getting radios. And I actually have no idea how far we are right now on our goal. Where are we at, everyone? Where are we at with our goal? I want to know. We are, let me see. It's 92%. And you got to get those. We've got to hit the 100 before session 4, which is next week.
That's crazy. Mm-hmm. I felt like that was a lofty goal. I didn't think we were ever going to hit it, but we're almost there.
92%.
Almost there. Think about what would happen if we hit it tonight.
Well, that would be amazing.
Just put that in your mind.
That would be amazing. So that's all of our logistics, and we're gonna start with our introductions. I would like to introduce one of my favorite players, somebody who is.
Oh, I'm sorry they're not here tonight. Then, but I'm here, so you can go ahead and introduce me whenever you get a chance.
Wow.
Sorry, that's not what my therapist told me to do this week. She actually gave me homework to be more confident and not self-deprecating. So,
right. Be nicer to yourself. Be nicer to yourself. So one of my favorite players, who one of the great things about this player is, besides being a GM and a very good GM with amazing voices and working on podcasts, is a person who... what I like about this player is that this player always surprises you, right? This particular player, who you can just guess who it is, but I'm not going to say just yet because that's not how you do introductions. You wait till the end. Is somebody who is sort of quiet but brings out amazing humor, but then like this really great depth of seriousness, and just comes with some so far in this campaign has come up with some of the most clutch ideas to save our team from murder, and so like do not sleep on this player, who is pretty awesome. I would like to introduce Stiver. Tell us who you are, where we can find you, what you can do, and let me ask you a question for Tango. At the end of last season, so 2 months ago, your Tango was hearing voices in your head that were distracting and not particularly nice, somebody from your past. And right. You have been recovering and sort of working through all this. And I want to ask you, how often, if at all, do you still hear those voices?
Oh, that's a good one. Mm-hmm. That's a good one. Okay. Well, hello, everybody. And I just want to take a time out because I already mentioned me going through therapy, and I wanted to go ahead and just kind of throw this out there. Maybe this isn't a place or time, but I feel like it might be the perfect time or place, because a lot of us handle things like the pandemic and handle things like just everything going on in the world, whether it be politics or whether it be a lot of the issues, social issues happening in America and beyond. And I just want you to know that your mental health is very important. I took it upon myself to do that for myself. And I want you to understand that if you need help, maybe it's a friend and maybe it's something more professional, but I just feel empowered by it, because I started going to therapy the first time in my life. And I think I'm just feeling amazing. And I just want everyone, if you're listening and you're feeling a certain kind of way about life, just know that there are options. So I don't know if that was a good place or time to put that, but I just felt the need. So
we have to take care of ourselves, right? And
exactly. Everybody needs to take care of them. And that's probably even why you're here and why I'm here, is that we just like to escape a little bit, play a game, enjoy ourselves, right? Well, I mean, Trooper enjoys a certain level of putting me through pain, but it's fine. I enjoy a certain level of pain anyways. So I just want to say that. But you can find me anywhere on the internet, where you can just Google Holy Stiver. I swear it's work appropriate. So you can find me on the Twitters. You can find me on that. I am a GM for a podcast called Loot and Dagger. I am also a player in a podcast called the Stellar Arcanum. I have been involved with many podcasts and a few things, all nerd entertainment related. So now that is out of the way, I play Tango. And Tango has gone through, I think, a huge identity crisis in general. Yeah. He is a liar, a thief. He's conniving. He's probably never told the truth in his life outside of to his mother once or twice. I don't know, but he's fell into a group of friends and into this resistance movement, and he really feels, I think, more now than ever for the things going on around him. So that is what you're stepping into with Tango. And does he still hear voices? I'm going to say you don't go through something like that without still hearing voices, at least for a while. And it hadn't been all that long ago. So does he still hear voices? Yes. Does he still hear that particular voice? Absolutely. I think he's learned to calm it. So.
And for those of you who are new to the Fate system, one of the things that's really interesting about Fate is that your character, and I'm working on trying to set up a space where you can see their character sheets, finding out the best place for it. But your character has these aspects to them, and Tango has like your high concept is like how you would describe yourself. Like, who is Tango, and who is Tango? What is your Tango's high aspect?
Yeah, what is Tango? Sorry, I thought we were just all kind of thinking to ourselves, who is Tango? And honestly, we can all come up with something different. My high aspect is an SOE trained, roguish American black marketeer. And I think that's exactly what he'll be until the day he settles down. That is him to a T even now.
And then you have all these other sort of aspects that sort of describe who you are. You could be, you never take guff, or all sorts of different things. And
right, and the things just to be a little more clear with Tango is, his world. Something that's changed between season 1 and season 2, right in the tail end of season 1, is that my friends in my world is a troubled aspect, and.
Which I used to get him in trouble, basically.
Absolutely. And he's become an unlikely leader. Some kind of, I think you mentioned the last episode, he's become almost like this heart of the group and heart of the faction at large. So it's been real interesting.
Especially now that Jules is gone, right? I think that there's a way in which Tango sort of takes that.
Jules.
Yeah.
I just miss Jules so much.
Me too.
I like New Guy and all, but man, I miss Jules.
And one of the things is that, and this is interesting, that last season he had the hears voices as one of his sort of trouble aspects. So I could get him in trouble by having these voices show up and get him in trouble. Now, the aspect is gone. He's sort of healed from that aspect, but that doesn't mean that he may not still hear voices. It just means that I can't get him in a whole bunch of trouble for it. I can't just sit in lots of fate points.
You'll probably have something new and exciting.
Yes. I'll get you in trouble anyway.
To get me in trouble with.
Yes. So we will start. When we began, when we left off last session, it was the night. It was July the 22nd, I believe, is when we started off, which is a Tuesday. That is correct. That is where we were. And July the 22nd, 1941, is the day that the Nazis went through Paris, and there's just basically there's a lot of, they're very slowly working through marginalizing Jewish people in a variety of ways to put them in a bad spot. And they've taken a census of all of the Jewish people in the city and all of their property. They have just today made it illegal for Jewish people to work as lawyers. And so now there's this removing Jewish people from the public life, and this is what's happening at this moment. Also at this moment was the day that they got a new team member, a German soldier who rescued a woman that they had set up to take the fall for a murder that they had done. And he rescued her, and he's now sort of in part of this team. But the woman that they rescued, is not doing well. And so he's going to be driving her off to the countryside so that she can convalesce without being a danger to herself or others. They also got a meeting from their new handler. They told a lie and convinced the Nazis that they were double agents in order to save one of their members. And the person who is now that they're double agents, the person who's their boss has shown up and asked them to do some work for them. She wants to know who, like somebody stole a canister of very experimental gas, and they want to know who has it, especially since their lab was blown up recently. Tango knows exactly who stole it. It's his friend Sigmund Shore, a smuggler contact, stole it for them. They paid him, and so they had it. But Jules, one of their members, has the gas and is taking it off to London. Is taken off to London. But the woman also wants them to find out who killed the head of German military intelligence before the Gestapo does. Find out who killed this very, very important Gestapo agent before the Gestapo does. Spoiler. It was them. It was the team. They did it. And then also their handler wants some names of people who are members of the resistance, like wants to find out who resistance people are so they can arrest them, so that, because that's what they need to do. And there was some discussion about maybe throwing under the bus some communist cells that they'd heard about. And then their second to last visitor was their British contact, Falstaff, their British sort of physical human contact, who's a courier who sort of goes between all the different resistance cells in the area and knows, because all the cells don't know each other, but he knows all of them, and he is the one who sort of does all the human intelligence and gives information back, coordinates sort of larger missions, and is the one who can get messages to London in sort of slightly different ways. And they asked him for radios because they want these radios. They also insulted him, tried to attack him, that was Tango, and pissed him off. They were able to de-escalate that situation, but and he said that he'd see what he could do. And in the midst of all of this stress and trouble, Tango went outside to get a smoke late at night. And in the alley, the back alley in the back of their nightclub where their base is, he heard a voice. And he went out there because he wanted to make sure that nobody could hear the screaming of our traumatized Jeanette. And when he was out there, he got a hello from his good friend Sigmund Shore, who is a lieutenant in the German military, German army. But that's not where Tango knows him from. Tango knows him from the time when Tango was a less than scrupulous smuggler. And this is like a big contact of his. And this contact of his showed up and said, hey, I've got something you might be interested in. Why don't you come with me? Out. And it's like probably like midnight, 1 a.m, and has spirited him away into the night. And as we begin, I want to ask you, what is Tango thinking as Sigmund pulls him away from the club to show him something interesting?
I think there's a certain guilt about Jeanette that hadn't sunk in at first, because he's all full of jokes in the beginning.
Yeah.
That is starting to creep in about just the depth of the consequences of his actions, and how it's real easy in the beginning to just point at somebody and say, well, you're kind of being a dick.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Now go be interrogated for a few months.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I think he's thinking through that, and also worried about a few things. He's worried about how everyone else is feeling with that same amount of guilt. Yeah. How can everybody pull themselves together? And who wouldn't feel that guilt? And if you didn't, what would that make you at this point in life? I also think that in the other scratch of his mind, he's thinking of Sylvie, that it's become a very interesting relationship.
That's a complicated relationship, isn't it?
It's very complicated, especially in everything going on. Sylvie being Sylvie, but also how can you find love right now when you're in the middle of a resistance movement? And thinking through all that.
Yeah.
And what the hell does Sigmund have that would be interesting to him?
Yeah. So he pulls you out, and at this point in time, it's 2 days before the new moon, so it's very dark. It's very dark in the streets of Paris. And he pulls you off to the side, and there's a military truck that's just like a little bit down the road. And he says, Tango, inside there, there's a military uniform. I'd like you to just put it on. I'm going to need you for something. If you need to be a little bit less dressed like this if you want where we're going.
I don't suppose you're going to tell me
No.
what we're doing.
No.
Is this? And let me ask you this. Just need to know.
Yes.
Because I'm putting it on anyways. Are you not telling me because it's just a little fun for you? Or are you not telling me because I might give something away if I knew?
Oh, I'm not telling you because it's a little bit of fun. Isn't the excitement of where we're going?
Well, I do like adventure. Let's figure this out.
I know you like adventure. One thing I've always liked about you, Tango, is that you are a man who drinks well, likes life, and doesn't mind getting a little bit dirty. You know, you've never been too worried about details, you know?
Yeah. Well, things change, my friend.
Ugh, but you will never change. That's what I like about you. You are reliable.
I'm reliably unreliable.
Also, you'll be working as my driver tonight. It's for the cover.
As your driver. You do know I am a shit driver, right?
Well, good enough, right? Isn't this what they say with Americans with automobiles and whatnot?
I guess. All right. Yeah. Let me put on this uniform. So I'll go look at the uniform. What does it look like?
It's a German army sort of infantry uniform, but it's like a private. Like, it is not a high-ranking uniform at all. It looks good. I mean, you know him. You know that Sigmund is working right now as a supply officer, so he has access to a number of things, and he clearly has commandeered a sort of a basic.
That's why he's
uniform.
a good friend right now. Okay.
And I will note that the uniform. He knows your build. He's known you for years, right? You go back.
Yeah, we're like frenemies in a weird way.
Yes.
Like best frenemies.
And it is a uniform. He knows what size you wear, and the uniform doesn't fit, but in an exciting way for him, not for you. It just makes
an exciting way for him.
It makes you look a little schlumpy. Right, like it's just a little bit too big, so it makes you look a little.
Does it have like
schlumpy.
a little frump at the side, so like it gives the look like I have a bit of a dad bod when I don't actually have a dad bod. No, that happens. I have a few shirts like that. I wear them regardless. Okay,
and you know he did it on purpose. You know.
I mean, by the way, everyone, I do have a dad bod, I guess, but so I can speak from experience here. Yeah. So I'm going to, I'll put it on. I'll look at myself just now and I'll be like, Sigmund, you son of a bitch. You can't dance in this shit. Not well, anyways. You had this specially tailored right here, didn't you?
Well, you know. Also, I hope, could I ask you a question?
Hold on. Is this payback?
Whatever would this be payback for?
The job down in Moscow.
Maybe you could tell me exactly why I would want payback for what you did in Moscow, specifically what you did at that party.
Because I made you wear a wig. Yeah, I made you wear a wig.
You did?
Yeah. And I made you proclaim me to be the best piano player in the entire bar. I've never played piano. Yeah.
Yep.
It was all for the cover, Sigmund. Okay.
Okay, but here's my question for you.
Just because I called you my favorite little trolley doesn't mean anything. Okay. I don't know why you have to do this frumpy shirt shit to me.
Well, I'm going to tell you something. I have never forgiven you for the fact that this wig you made me wear was gray. I'm not that old. It made me look terrible. Also,
Well,
I got no interest from anyone at the bar all night. You got all of the interest.
that's because I told everyone your name was Trolley. I
Well,
never told you that, I guess, except for, shouting that out and an alcoholic rage. But no, all right, fine. I'm going to do this. I'm just making sure that we're even Stevens after this.
well, it's always complicated, right? Who really makes a tally about a friendship such as ours? I mean, of course, we both do, but...
Yeah, there's a list.
Well, come. We've got somewhere to go. Also, I'm sorry, I did want to ask. I don't know where you're sleeping nowadays.
And you never will.
If you wanted to tell me, you could.
Yeah, but I won't.
Not very exciting. But let me ask you this question.
It's a very boring sleeping life I have right now. But it should be of no interest of you.
But I do know you hang out at this bar.
Sure. That's where you found me in the back alley of said bar. So.
Yes. No, but it was a few months ago. Please, start driving. And he sits sort of like next to you. Go forward. I will give you directions.
Start going.
When I was walking out of that bar and I saw you walking in, I knew exactly what you were doing in Paris. I could just tell by looking at you what you were doing here.
Looking for goods.
Yes.
Selling, trading, the things that we normally do, Sigmund.
But there are many places you could go, but you are in Paris. And I think it's because Paris at this point in time is full of possibilities. You know
why I'm here, Sigmund?
Tell me.
I'm here because Paris is a place of love, and maybe that's what I'm trying to find. Because I love whatever currency that can be traded.
This is the love I know of you.
Exactly. And what do we know about war, Sigmund?
War is opportunity.
It is opportunity. It is more opportunity in war than there has ever been in America. So that's why I'm here, Sigmund. Opportunity.
You have
Otherwise, why would I be driving a German soldier?
It's fair. You don't have anyone waiting for you, do you?
Waiting for me?
Anyone special? Anyone? I'm just saying that perhaps you might be staying out all night tonight. Would anyone be missing you?
Sigmund, does anyone miss the kind of guys we are?
I'm going to roll an empathy. I get a 3. You might want to roll some deceive. All right. Do I want to spend a fate point? I do not right now. Because I don't get that many when there's only one player.
Deceive.
Yeah, no, I can't handle it.
Yeah.
So, all right, if you have no one waiting for you, that means we can be out all night. And I do plan on keeping you out all night.
I'm going to slam on the brakes for a second.
Okay.
And hopefully, I wouldn't say he hits his head or anything. Like, oh, silly me. I'm sorry. I'm a terrible driver. Hey, Sigmund, again, why don't you ask me any more about why I'm here? Just be thankful and grateful that your good friend Tango is here right now. All right?
You should be nicer to me considering where I'm taking you.
Well, I don't know where you're taking me because you haven't been a nice friend in telling me where we're going. Now, I appreciate the romanticism here, but I'm hoping there's candlelight. So let's go.
All right. And as he gives you directions, he takes you get closer and closer to the main train station, actually. The main central train station. But he sort of pulls you off and he takes you into this sort of area not too far from the train station where are all these, a series of massive warehouses. And he directs you into this sort of like big yard with all these warehouses. And as you walk, as you're sort of like driving in, there are guards everywhere. You can see like a number of German military guards patrolling this whole area. They're actually quite thick on the ground, even though it's probably 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning at this moment. And as he directs you to this one particular warehouse, and a guard sort of approaches and asks in German, what are you doing here? What is it? And he says, I'm, this lieutenant, and I'm coming in for a delivery. And they're like, but there's this whole kind of discussion about how it's a little bit odd for it to happen at this time of night, but these things are. And they open up the sort of these big, this bay so that you can drive into this warehouse. And then of course they shut these doors behind you. And this warehouse is massive. And it's, if you can think about Raiders of the Lost Ark, right? Like that sort of warehouse in the end, it's this sort of massive, massive warehouse, but it is also chaotic. And I'm going to ask you first off, when you move into a new place.
In my wish of heart, like my in the deepest dark of my hearts, this is that warehouse. There's all kinds of weird, wonderful, archaeological, mystical things. Anyways, go on.
There are things. When you first move into a brand new space that you do not know, you have a choice. You can act first, or you make an awareness roll to check out the space.
Let me make an awareness roll.
Give it to me.
Did I do it?
No,
I didn't.
You didn't. You didn't do it. There we go.
I submitted it.
It's a 1.
Yeah, it's a 1.
Yeah, it's dark. That's all you can really. You don't really glean much. You just see there are a lot of sort of like in terms of sort of checking out your sort of aspects, sort of figuring out the one aspect that you can sort of tell. Like, I will say this, if there were people who were hiding in wait to ambush you, you would not have noticed them. Just, there. But you do see that this is a dark and cluttered warehouse.
Okay. As we're driving through this warehouse, have we stopped or we're still driving?
Yes, he stops because you really can't drive much further.
When we get out, I'm going to whisper over to Sigmund's like, all right, time to spill the beans, my friend. What the fuck are we doing here?
So, my very good friend Tango, I have brought you somewhere magical and special.
It's not my birthday.
No, but my understanding is that you always. We never had a big problem too much, you and I, because we work in different goods. You like paintings and sculptures and furniture and all these things, and I like
the beautiful things in life, the things that matter. That's what I like.
I like morphine and also cocaine. And also sometimes other things that make more money or are easier to sell, a little bit less easy to track. I've always found your interest in these things slower and less practical. Yeah.
Well, I don't care what you think of my profession, as I feel like I've respected you for what you do.
I respect you.
Outside of the few times I told you I didn't respect you for what you do, but I was very intoxicating at the time.
Well.
So go on, Sigmund. Are we here to do are we transporting morphine? Are we transporting cocaine? What are we here for?
Walk with me. He starts walking down these sort of he's kind of like passageways between stuff, right? Mm-hmm. And he sort of moves in a little bit of he turns on some dim lighting. And as you are walking down this place, what you see is from the bottom to the top, this is a huge warehouse. You see furniture. You see and there's just an entire row full of furniture. And then you see an entire row full of dishes, plates, and forks and knives and spoons. And then you see piles and piles of clothes, just stacks and stacks of them in bundles. And then you see paintings, just regular paintings, works of art. You see lamps, you see little statues, and then you see and your awareness was not a great roll, so you don't sort of pick up anything really specific in the details, but you kind of get a sense. You see photo albums of like you're like, oh, those are photo albums. Little like photos and frames of people, families,
photos
just
and frames of people here.
And you just see this, and none of these things are new. None of them are new. You just see an entire shoes after shoes after shoes, lamps, suitcases, luggage. This is just an entire, and it is it's like probably well over a football field. You know, like it's like massive warehouse just stacked.
I'm gonna stop for a second
top.
as my heart starts to drop and my gut starts to pull into itself, and I'm gonna put a hand on the back of Sigmund for a second and just kind of squeeze, be like, "Where have you brought me, Sigmund?"
I've brought you to, for you, I think, a Candyland.
Right. Candyland.
Yes.
Yeah, I guess that's why I'm pausing right now, because there's, I've heard some rumors, but Sigmund, are these the things the Germans have collected from the Jews?
Yes. Or not only Jews, well, let's just say this, also communists, or who, all of those people who doesn't really matter who they are, right? Doesn't matter where these things come from.
I guess for us, it doesn't matter. This is just stuff.
Yes, it is stuff that has not been very well catalogued. It's the job of people like me to catalog these things, because I'm a supply lieutenant and this is my job. But I keep the records, and all I'm saying, my dearest friend, is that some of the things could go a little bit missing. I know you like these sorts of things, and I could arrange for the books to be a little bit vague. There's so many things here. I mean, I'm going to tell you, when you take thousands and thousands of people and put them in some sort of a camp, that's a lot of things that are left over. And all of these things are being shipped back to Germany for some sort of, some sort of charity thing or something, some sort of, the people of Germany need shoes or whatever. So all of these things are being sent back to Germany for whatever reason. I don't care really. But my point is, it's an opportunity to perhaps lose a few of these things. And I know that these are things that you specialize in smuggling. And I thought you might like some. You could make a lot of money. I could make a lot of money. Could be a great opportunity. Nobody would really know.
Sigmund, you are a genius. An absolute genius. And this is the... How many people do you think work in this warehouse? And how many things do you think would go unnoticed? Because and I'm just waving around at the football field and stuff, but because the paperwork here, there's got to be a tremendous amount of error involved.
Well, my friend, this is one thing we know about Germans. They always do it very precise, and we catalog every single detail. And all of the hours it takes to do this. And I have to do this work. Tango, you know me. You know me. This is not what I'm made for, being some sort of pencil pusher, number counter, bean planter counter person. I don't know what the phrase is. I don't like it. It's boring. I should be out having more excitement, something doing interesting. So I thought that perhaps if I'm going to have to be doing this for I don't know how long, I could at least make it a bit more interesting.
So you want me to push out some of the items that you're going to lose here. Is that what you want? I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not going to do anything that involves the more distasteful aspects that I dislike of your chosen profession.
Yeah. You never like it when the people involved, but sometimes people need to be moved from place to place.
I will not deal with people.
I know. I'm not asking you to deal with people.
I will not deal with morphine or cocaine or anything that causes people to lose their mind. I know how much money is involved.
It's a lot of money.
But I also know that with when it comes to the dealings you've had, it becomes a little more high stakes than I like, anyways.
You've always been a little bit
Art
of a coward.
doesn't. Sigmund.
Tango. Look.
Let's just get down to business.
Wait.
If you want me to do anything for you right now,
I'm doing something for you.
Am I going to do something for you?
Perhaps you
Or
will.
are you going to do something for me?
Well, look.
Why are we here right now?
First off, I'm doing something for you by giving you access to this warehouse.
Of course.
All the things you like. This is for a person like you, a smuggler like you. Someone like you. This is a dream. I am giving you access to all of these arts and bric-a-bracs and things you like that you can sell and make money off of. Of course, I'm going to want a cut. Of course.
Of course you're going to want to cut.
But I'm giving you something that any smuggler would give their ITs for. This is amazing. Aren't you excited? Aren't you grateful that I'm giving you this opportunity?
For a moment, and I think even Sigmund will see it, he's not excited. But then he remembers who he knows Sigmund thinks he is. And he's just going to be like, no. All right. So obviously I have ideas. I have buyers out there. I've been working the market. You heard me working the market, right?
I have heard you.
You've seen me asking around, and you know that the communists have come in. They want some things. You know that the Americans are starting to they're starting to tap at the door, and London's always out there. You know my dealings with them, and you know that I also have other dealings in private that you don't know about, which is best.
Oh.
So here's what I want to do. Just to start off with, Sigmund, do you know anything about the Burger family? There was a scientist who just died recently, and I think there's some maybe some personal effects in art. Now, they weren't Jewish, but they were German. I imagine they would have come through this warehouse that they're going to go through to Germany anyways.
This is true.
So I would like to, this scientist had some particular items maybe that might be of interest. And if you could see if anything came through from his apartment or hotel that he was in.
It's interesting. That's an interesting request.
Sure, it's interesting because I've been dealing with interesting people and interesting things that may have interesting amounts of money involved with it. But I'd love to know if that may have come through here. And I get that we're in a warehouse full of Jewish articles for the most part, but it's probably also, I imagine, correct me if I'm wrong, some German soldiers and German things and articles that would have come through here. This feels like just a transport warehouse in general.
Well, Tango, those things you're thinking about would not be in this warehouse, but I would know. Things go through me. But don't you want to know what I want from you for all of these amazing things I'm giving you?
You want my contacts, which is what you've always wanted, Sigmund. I can read you like a book.
But I want something else as well.
What else could you possibly want from me, Sigmund?
Well, you know, Tango, that all of this puts me in great danger, right? If they found out I was missing some things, the terrible things that could happen to me. I'm putting
Sigmund,
my life
you are
on
no victim here, and you've been through this dance plenty enough. You're a professional, and you're one of the best at what you do. I don't think you're actually going to ever get caught. And if you did, it would be because you got drunk and stupid.
Perhaps. But nonetheless, I of course would want something in return for giving you everything you've ever wanted. I mean, Tango, This is everything you've ever wanted. All of these goods just taken from people who do not matter that you can just have and sell without even too much trouble. Because I will protect you. I'll make sure you can have these things.
Forgive me if I am not dancing right now, but it's also because I'm wondering what you want from me on it. Nothing comes free.
Mm-hmm.
So tell me, old friend.
I do want a few things.
Of course you do.
Relationship between you and I. My old friend. If I remember correctly, you are about 3 months older than I am, which makes you very old and me still young.
You know, it's fine. Just get on with it, Sigmund.
Yes.
You have a flair for the dramatic that is just getting under my skin. And usually I'm the one who has a flair for dramatic, but I've been through a lot recently. And I'm going to be honest, I haven't had a sandwich in a minute. I feel like I'm sober right now. Did you know that?
Don't
do you
worry.
Have any alcohol? Where's my
Listen,
alcohol?
I've got it planned. What do you think we're going to do after this warehouse? I didn't want to ruin all the surprises, but I do have a party I'm going to take you to afterwards. Don't worry.
We better go to a party after this because you just took me.
Don't worry.
What do you want from me specifically right now so that I can have access to these goods, this
treasures?
Candyland, this treasure trove?
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm going to need a couple of things from you, I think. And it might be more or less here and there, but first off, of course, knowing some of your contacts would be useful. You keep them so hidden from me, it's boring. But also...
It's professional. And I don't need you snooping.
Yes, I know, but we're friends. So, you have a certain set of skills that I
have a very specific set of skills.
Yes. I've never really been able to get my fingers around. I've always been a little bit jealous of you, is that way?
Oh.
Just a little, not so much.
I'm going to be honest. I feel like you're a better dancer than me. I've seen you dance at some parties, and I know that I can cut a rug. But you, sir, go somewhere that is purely artisanal, and it's a sight to behold.
Yes, but you are very good at forgery. You're very good at forgery.
I'm just very good at lying. Sigmund.
The things you do with the pen, it's beautiful. And I'm in need of some falsified documents.
So I know we haven't done this in a minute. But usually I wouldn't ask what these falsified documents are for. But at the moment I have my... there's a lot of strings attached to me.
Well, yes.
I'm a bit of a hot commodity, if you know what I mean. So I'm going to need to know why.
Well,
the why and where this is happening.
There are many reasons why one person might want a little bit of forged documentation, of course. Many reasons.
Of course.
So, there are some... Do you really need to know the details?
Sigmund, come closer. Just come here. Just come in. I really need to know the details, or I'm going to get back in this car. I want to drive away from this Candyland because there are certain aspects of my life that you will never understand. And if you do not tell me exactly why I would be forging new documents, then you may never see me again. And that's for real. Maybe I'm going through a crisis. Maybe I'm being dramatic now. I get it. I've been very dramatic lately. But we're in the middle of a war, Sigmund. Okay? I haven't had a decent pack of cigarettes. They've all been a weird brand. Like, the branding is weird. This I don't even know what this
He reaches into a pack and he brings out a fresh pack of actual cigarettes with real tobacco.
Fresh pack. Okay, don't dangle that in front of me. I'm a bit frustrated.
For you, because we're friends.
Oh, because we're friends. All right.
I'm going to need a couple of things from you. As well, of course, as a cut from all of your sales that you're making. It's convenient for both of us. But especially when we're looking for these burger documents or whatever it is, which I'm sure I can find, no problem.
Yes.
I'm going to need, well, there's some people. You're not dealing with the people. I'm dealing with the people. But they need papers. Good, believable papers. Identity documents.
Are you smuggling people in or out?
A little bit of both.
Tell you what, and by the way, from James to Trooper, what is the name of Sylvie's dude that is?
Dimitri.
Okay, and we're like, all right, well, I'll tell you what. You can say no more and I'll help you with this. But I imagine there's somebody named Dimitri and even last name.
Yeah.
Like, I won't leave this warehouse unless I have that person's articles. And I will do it. And you can have more of the cut than you can normally have. And you don't ask questions on why I want this person's stuff or why I want burger stuff, because strings
We're
attached.
professional, it's fine.
Exactly.
I have
So
another
say
question.
no more. You tell me exactly what you need forged, and I'll forge them for you. But you give me that, and if you don't, if you can't, and if it's not available, I'm even going to walk out. And I'm sorry, that would be a bad fate of. That'd be bad fate, wouldn't it? If you didn't have Dimitri's stuff.
One more thing, though.
Yes.
You are exceptionally American.
Exceptionally. Look, you're right. I am.
And I'm wondering if you could help me with something as well.
I love a good sandwich. Do you like a good sandwich?
I like a good brötchen, sort of roll with sausage.
A roll?
Yes. No, listen, there's a person that will not talk to me, but I think will talk to you.
A roll?
Yes, a bread roll.
Doesn't sound like a sandwich.
It's a bread roll, and you put the sausage in it with mustard.
You cut the roll in half, and then you put the meat and the cheese in the middle, and then some sauce on the side. You know what I mean? Like you put it in, and you just eat it like a American, I guess. Okay, so yeah, sorry, I wasn't paying attention. What do you want me to do?
There's a person, an American, who's here in Paris. By the way, pause. We just made our community goal. We just made our community goal. Oh my
goodness!
You're getting the radios.
Hey, community. Hey, everybody in chat. By the way, you may have made me the happiest diver in the world. Did they make you the happiest trooper in the world?
Yes. I'm so excited.
Yeah. Hell goals. Yeah. Hitting the goals.
Listen, there's this American that will not deal with me, but I think there might be able to deal with you. And I know that you might have sometimes issues with things, but it's important to me. It's a trade. I'm giving you things. I want you to give me things. I want you to listen. It might involve a little bit of bending on your part, but there's a person, a doctor in the hospital, who has access to a lot of medications that would be very viable for me.
Oh no, this is...
And this person...
This is the drug trade all over again. You've done this to me.
I have, but listen, it's different this time. I would do it myself, but this person doesn't want to deal with Nazis. They don't care, so I'm not technically a Nazi. But they would deal with you. You're an American. I'll give you money. If you could just convince them to give you lots and lots of morphine. Also antibiotics. Actually, I need a lot of antibiotics. I need antibiotics and I need morphine. And if you could give me those things from this doctor, he will not deal with me. But I bet he will deal with you because you're both Americans and you've got that Yankee thing going on. And you could get me these things.
Yankee thing. I'm from the South, brother. I know you don't understand the difference. I know you don't. You know what? That's fine. Do you know what a Waffle House is? That's not even invented yet.
It is, actually. We checked.
Oh, that's right. It is.
Waffle
House number 1.
No.
I went to. Sigmund, just shut up and give me the doctor's name, and I'm not leaving this warehouse until you give me what I need.
Okay, it's fair. It's all right. So, is it a deal?
There's like a long pause, a pregnant pause, as he looks around the warehouse, and he's thinking through what this might mean to Sylvie if he can get her. He's not even sure. She doesn't talk. It's very chaotic how she feels about that guy. But as her, I guess, quasi dude, he wants to make her happy, and I think he wants to do something that would mean a lot to her. So he's going to think through that, and he's also thinking through what maybe might be important to Regina with the burger stuff. So he's going to go through that as well and be like, well, this guy's going to do this thing anyways, with or without him. At least this way, Tango can control it a bit. So he's going to look at Sigmund. He's like, you have a deal, but don't you ever ask me to trade in drugs or pharmaceuticals again after this. You understand?
Look, you're doing a good job for the people. With this trading in pharmaceuticals is for...
Who am I doing a good job for, Sigmund? You mean you and me filling our pocketbooks?
Well...
Filling our wallets?
Look, I have made connections as well as you have made connections, and some of my connections need paperwork and also penicillin, and also I love selling morphine, generally speaking. So you're helping the people if that makes you feel better, but you've never needed to worry about that sort of a thing before. So there's just good money in it. And it won't be too dangerous because this is not even a military person, it's a doctor.
Tell you what, whatever money you keep, whatever money it is from the morphine, I don't need a cut of it. Why don't you put that towards whatever money you're expecting from what I'm going to get here soon? How about that?
It's fair.
We both come out of here not owing anyone anything.
Well, we're in an ongoing relationship. I think we could take over this entire city. There are some problems, however.
Problems? Tell me about these problems.
Well, crime syndicates, you know. They're competing groups, and they can always be so difficult. You've always had good contacts with to get resources. I have some of my own. I think that you and I, listen, I know that the last time we worked together, you were a little bit upset because I left you on the docks without transport, and I also took 60-40 from our split, and it took you days to get back.
Sigmund, it really pays in this business to have a short memory. So no, thank you for bringing it back up, though, because I had thought we were over that little hump.
Well, nonetheless, the point is that if we worked together, right, as a team, as we had done before in Prague, you remember?
Yes.
But then,
I remember Prague.
We could...
It's the only time that we actually completed a deal without anyone being upset. Do you remember that?
I do remember
that time. I really feel like we have a toxic relationship and we need to work on it. Have you thought about, group therapy? Like,
I don't know what you're talking about. Are you talking about some sort of Freud thing? Oh.
I'm talking about that maybe we sit down with someone else, a third party, we both talk about our issues with each other, and maybe we'll figure it out together.
Don't
And maybe
understand
you
what this
won't
is
deal
about.
in drugs, and maybe I won't deal in other people's crazy art. And we'll
I
get real
understand. You're
jobs
making
like
jokes.
accountants.
You're making jokes now.
Of course.
I see. Look, I think we can start. We can do a little bit of work together, right? We begin with this. You help me getting things from some of the Americans that I cannot get access to because they will not deal with me because I'm German. And I help you get whatever sort of, because I know you have art context and all of this sort of thing, that you can get these things that you like. And maybe we keep doing this a little bit.
Yes.
We move a little bit more in the city, and perhaps in some time we have our own little criminal empire. There are people who don't need to be in charge of criminal things, and we could instead. I understand that we're just mostly smugglers, but we have to think bigger. We have to have more.
I have to tell you, Sigmund, that what you're proposing is
ambitious.
Dangerous. It is ambitious. It's but it's right down my alley. So
Tango.
long as, and I'm going to look at him dead in the eyes, like, how into the Germans are you these days, Sigmund?
What does that mean?
What that means is, how do you feel about them having this warehouse?
It's very convenient.
And he's just going to smile.
Listen,
I hope you never change, Sigmund.
No, I won't change. Listen, do you know what's really amazing about these Nazis?
I'm going to roll nose for a double cross.
No, that's your aspect. You were going to do...
It's an aspect.
Empathy is what you want.
Empathy, that's right, empathy.
And his deceit is
good.
4. We're tied.
Okay.
If you want your nose for a double cross,
choose...
you can spend a fate point for that.
I would like to spend a fate point because even though I know he's always double crossing me at any given point, hold on, there we go. All right, I'd like to delete that. So I'm deleting a fate point from the group pool. I know he's, and where I'm getting at is, I know he's always out to double cross me, sure.
Yeah.
But do I feel like there's something that's, he's being very ambitious, and do I feel like there's something I'm missing here that's bigger? Do you know what I mean? Bigger than when he left me at a dock. Kind of bigger.
Yeah. Also, why is my number not advancing? Come on, number advance. I did a whole thing. It's not doing it right now. That's the worst. It's fine. So you were going to spend that fate point, which puts you 2 above him. And we're going to call this the discover action, which is it's a new alternate action in fate, which allows you to ask 2 questions.
Okay. So my questions are, is he only seeing it as this warehouse as a basically his warehouse to sell things, his goods and such? Or does he, I mean, that's the first question. Is that what he's actually looking at right now? Is that as big as the scope as he's like, oh, we're going to own this town, but really we're going to own this warehouse.
So, right, you're going to get your so your first question. The answer is, it seems to you that he is seeing this warehouse as an amazing opportunity to make a lot of money.
Right.
A lot of money. Now, you're going to have to probably be a little bit careful with him, is your sense, because you're thinking about the nose for a double cross. It does not seem to you as if he is, shall we say, planning to double cross you. Like, that's not how I would frame that. But
okay.
Because you are useful to him, however, much like I imagine an old Tango would have felt the same way, that if you are no longer useful to him, then it's a little bit different. in the same way that in the past, if he has not been useful for you, it has been a little bit different.
Right. Because for every time he's left me at a dock, I probably also left him at a bar in a wig, right?
Yeah. Yes.
So,
but you also know that he, the kinds of times that he screwed you over have been minor. They've been inconvenient and irritating, but they've not been things that would.
They've been more transport, like deal is done, but then it's like, haha, now you gotta get your own train home or some shit, right?
Or sometimes things like the deal is for A, but actually ends up it's A and B, and he just takes the B, right? You know what I mean? Like just like little things like maybe you don't share all of the information, and so people sort of take cuts on the side. And
we get to the place, and instead of it just being art, it's actually art plus morphine and cocaine and three other things, and he takes those things, right?
Yeah, and he's always making an angle. But in your relationship with him, he has found you to be someone who's unscrupulous. I mean, you've got your own weird lines, right? Like you apparently don't like human smuggling. Human trafficking is apparently a line for you. And selling drugs to children apparently is a line for you, but whatever.
Weird, right?
Weird. Yeah. But he's always, but he has never betrayed you to outsiders. And he has always found you someone, a kindred spirit, right? He tends to think of you as being a real piece of crap, and he likes that about you, right? And he thinks that you're kind of a person that you can rely on to, like, when things are sketch, right? He thinks you're really sketchy, and he likes that about you.
When you have to protect yourself, both people, when everyone in the room has to protect himself, then you're pretty good. Okay. I think the second question. Ooh, okay. Yeah. I don't even know about the second question. I think the first question was really everything I needed. So
you can get a boost if you like. Because you succeeded with style, so you can have a boost if you like instead.
Let me, and either I can succeed with style, but let me ask this to the chat. Is there a question you think that Tango should ask right now? I might even leave this up to you if you think there's something I should be asking and maybe leaving on the table here. I will give you 10 seconds.
Yeah. Because that is totally doable. You can decide that one there if you like.
Otherwise, it's a boost. Chat. Oh, chat. Chat's got nothing.
What? You know, there's a little bit of a lag. You know what I mean? There's just a bit of a lag. You have to...
Chat lag. No.
Chat lag.
Okay. It's okay. Well, how about this? I was going to give it a little bit more time, but no. Anybody? Bueller? Bueller? No. Let's do this. Let's do it as a boost.
Okay. And your boost is going to be if he has Super Rave Monster is like if he has any actual partials for Nazis or not.
Yeah, and my thing is, I think we've asked enough questions. Now, maybe this question is the for sure truth of it, but I think we've understood that he doesn't care what uniform he's in. He's just in it for the money. So I think that he doesn't have a partialness for Nazis. I think that in a fight, he's going to go with whoever the winning team is.
Yeah, that's true.
He's going to go with either the winning team or the most paying team, the best paying team. So now let's do a boost.
Your boost is going to be Ziggy, allies. We're going to say in bed.
Yeah, he's basically Loki.
Yeah.
You're right.
In bed with no. It takes two to tango. That's your boost.
It takes two to tango. Love it.
It takes two to tango, which basically is like, you know, he is he's feeling like you two are in bed together. He's feeling like you two are, you know, aligned and have are useful. So he's positively inclined toward you for kind of sketchy things as well. And he says, look, it would take time to do this, and it would be a little bit dangerous, and we'd have to push here and there, but I think that slowly, with your context in mind, we could achieve more than just being smugglers. We could take over things. We could actually have these places for our own rather than just moving from place to place. Rather than just like selling things to somebody, we could own the things. We could
Sigmund,
own
let me
the
stop
city.
you right there. I'm in.
Okay.
Just give me the name of this.
All right.
Of this physician, but after that, before I leave, we're filling this car up with the goods that I want.
Okay. And you will give me
sense?
Yes, and you will give me the cut for what you sell. And
I already talked about this.
Perfect.
No cut for what I'm going to do for you. You don't get a cut for what I'm going to do here. And then we're even, right?
No, I don't like this.
Why? I'm about to do something for you that you know I don't like morally. And it's going to make you a lot of money. And what I'm doing here is obviously, we'll call them contact strings. And they're not going to make me money.
You're going to make money with all of this art you're going to be selling.
In the future. And in the future, you will get a cut. But for what we're doing right now, nobody owes anyone anything. And this is just a start of a beautiful relationship.
Give me a roll on this one.
What do you want?
I feel like we have got. Well, this is up to you. Is this going to be rapport or deceive?
Deceive. Because I don't know how much he really wants to be doing any of this. And
I know.
I don't think he wants to be in debt. I think at the end of the day, he doesn't want to be in debt.
Yeah.
Man, this thing, roll 20
is a little slow.
Completely screws me up with. Come on. There we are. Come on, roll 20.
Do it.
Get your shit together, roll 20. So there's a good
duty on there. Oh, that's pretty good. All right. He's pretty good at his will. Let's see. Ooh, I got a 5. How you doing?
Man. All right. Here's what I'm gonna do. I want to spend a fate point. Because if I spend a fate point, we'll tie. That doesn't mean I'm gonna win this, right?
So you have a choice. You can there are a couple things you can do at this moment. You can
please give me my freaking options.
Let me give you your options. This is currently a fail. You could just choose to succeed at a major cost, however. You could do that. Or you could.
You would love me to do that, wouldn't you?
I would. Yeah.
Okay.
I would.
Let's go. So
it would be bad for you, and I'd love it. Or you could make the tie, right? You could spin the fate point, get a tie, which means that it would be sort of like, a little bit equilibrium. But from that tie, you could choose to succeed at a minor cost, which is pretty small. Or you could, spend more than one fate point if you have the aspects for it.
All right. Here's what I'm going to do. Man, I don't want to do this. But I feel like gambling. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to spend a fate point to just re-roll.
Okay.
Because deceive is a +4 for me.
Yeah.
So if I get anything decent, I might beat that 5.
Yes, that is correct.
So
what's the aspect you're using?
The aspect I'm going to use here is that my friends are my world, and I'm trying to do everything in my power to get these items for my friends. The item for Sylvie and the stuff for Regina, and then Regina. And then I'm trying to do everything I can to, I guess, make the situation where I'm not as involved.
Yes. That's what you want.
But that's what I want. I want to be not so involved as this guy wants me to be involved.
By the way, if you choose to succeed at a major cost, that will be what that means. That you'll be more involved than you want to be.
Okay. So I am about to re-roll now. Everybody, drum roll. Here we go.
I'm ready. Ooh.
Shit. That is a bad roll. That is so bad.
It is. So
that's the worst thing that could possibly happen right now.
You have choices. Choice 1, you accept the fail. In which case, he's going to want money for this stuff, and he's going to give you money for the morphium. But that's it. Or you can choose to succeed at a major cost. That major cost is going to have a big string on you. You're going to be more involved than you probably want to be.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I'm out of lines at this point. I have to choose between those two, right?
Mm-hmm.
I will choose to be more involved.
Okay. So he looks at you because like what you're proposing is that you're gonna take stuff out and not give him money, and you also won't take money for the morphine, which he knows is a bit of a problem, right? Because that makes you a little bit less connected than he might feel safe with.
Right, because the whole idea was to not owe him anything, and for
Yes.
him not to owe me anything. I just wanted to do a job and get the fuck out with the stuff I wanted, and I didn't want to be more involved. So
he says to you, all right, listen, I will say, I will not expect any money from the things you take out of this warehouse tonight. A little bit, but not the entire truck, a little bit too suspicious. And I will not be so generous as to give you a cut of what I make off this morphine, although I will, of course, pay you for what you get from what I earn from the papers and the antibiotics, penicillin. However, this deal that we're making tonight is then a serious deal between us. Tell me, where are you sleeping? Is it with that woman?
Sleeping at the bar.
Well, the last time I saw you when I was dropping off that canister, it was by that woman's house who runs the bar.
Sure, there's plenty of women. You know this about me and you.
I do know
Sigmund.
this.
There's plenty of women in our lives, right? So, I don't know, that was just a happenstance for that night.
Was it?
But I'm sleeping at the bar.
Strange, since I've seen you come out of this house more than once.
Maybe I deceive you. Fantastic.
No. This is your major consequence.
Damn it!
This is your major
I
consequence.
just wanted to roll that, but that was a fantastic.
It's
Everybody in
fantastic.
chat sees it, right? That was a great roll.
Yes, it was a great roll, but this is your consequence.
All right, so
this is it. I think.
Okay, why do you care so much about where I'm staying tonight then? So yeah, it's not the bar, okay?
Yes,
maybe I found somebody to stay with for the night. A few nights.
This is why I care.
What's it to you?
This is what it is for me. You and I are going into partnership together. This is why. And it's important when you have partners that you can trust each other. Yes? You know where I work.
Been in a relationship? It's built on lies. Thank you.
Well,
that's not what a partnership is.
Well, but this partnership is going to have to be built on a sort of a trust between us. Because I'm going to need you to be reliable, and I'm going to need to know where to find you, and I'm going to need you to know that I know where to find you. But I think we understand each other.
Well, you know where I stay. Good. Are you happy?
I am happy.
Then why don't you tell me where you stay, Sigmund?
Oh, well, I'm in the officer's barracks. And by the way, he has a boost on you as well, by the way.
Sure he does, yeah. He's just screwed me.
Just a little.
Just,
but hey, as long as you don't betray each other, then you're fine. That's how these things work.
Sure.
Right?
Sure. me and my lady friend. As long as I don't betray him at all.
And the boost he has is he knows where you sleep.
God, I hate that so much.
But it's and he gives you the name of the barracks. He gives you, and they're officers' quarters, and they're pretty nice. Like, they're pretty good digs. They're not bad at all. This is where I stay, but I'll give you one other thing, because we're friends. Mm-hmm. As they say, it takes two to tango. I will give you the sort of, I have a little place on the side, and he gives you an address of an apartment that's clearly not his official, where he's actually staying, because he has to stay right on in barracks, but he's giving you a little bit of an apartment on the side. He's like, this is where you can find me if you need me for anything, and I think we should be celebrating.
You know what we should do, Sigmund? About once a week. I've always wanted to do this with somebody, but I feel like we're really good friends. Once a week, we just need to grab dinner and catch up. Really understand what each other's doing.
I think this is an excellent idea.
Yes.
I see that we understand each other very well. So,
yes.
Let me go and look at the records. I'll find this stuff.
Get the things I fucking need, Sigmund, now that you know where I live.
Yes.
And do it. And I will do the shit you need me to do.
Excellent.
I'm very unhappy right now. And I think it's because, you know what? Let me smoke that cigarette you just gave me. I think I'm just upset because of nicotine.
You go look. See what was interesting for you. I'll go find some things for you. This burger situation will be a little bit longer for me to get, I think, because it won't be here. But I'll deliver it.
Well, he's gone looking for things. I would actually like to see if they got anything from Hannah's family.
The problem is you wouldn't know where to look.
Right. I understand that.
Yeah. So I'm going to need an awareness from you.
It's just a dumb look. Ooh. Poor. I obviously don't know what I'm doing. I'm just smoking a cigarette going, God, I wish I knew how the fucking filing system here worked.
It's very organized.
I'm just going to sit down. I'm going to look at some pieces of art, maybe. And if there's anything that seems like it's well labeled, I wouldn't mind taking a few things. Yeah. And I'm going to put them in the back of the car, in a trunk, and I'm going to make note of the labels because I'm going to tell you right now, in the future, I'm going to try to get them back.
That's not what Sigmund's thinking. Sigmund's thinking that you're going to sell it for money and then give him the money.
Sure.
I feel like you're breaking the deal. Well, that's what he would. But he doesn't care as long as he gets money.
He doesn't know what I'm going to be doing.
He doesn't know, and he doesn't really care. He just wants his money. And so as you look, you can't find anything from Hannah, from Hannah's family. You can't find anything like that at all. And as far as you know, her stuff hasn't been taken yet. It's just been cataloged. They've only sort of taken things from foreign Jews at the moment. But you're looking through, you don't really find anything specific that way, but you do find a number of items that are that you have a good eye. They're not the things you wanted, but you do find a number of good items that are valuable. You find people's china, right? You find like some good sets of china, some antiques, and you find some good art. Like you find, and of course, some of the best art has already been taken, is not here. It's been taken by the upper level Nazis, but not all of the people who are taking this stuff know all the things that are there. And you do find some paintings that would be sort of valuable, some stuff like you don't like your eyes like a little bit like you probably Regina would know better, but you're like, oh, from your time you're like, oh, I know some of the brushstroke here, this stuff. You've got some good paintings, a couple of small sculptures that you're like, oh, that's pretty good, and depressingly lots of like people's goods, like things that were important to people.
I think there's like a bit of old Tango that starts to tingle as he looks at the art, as he looks at everything going on. And then once he starts seeing, and he probably puts that in the trunk at first. And I want to say, if we can go back a second, he's going to pull the art out right before someone gets there. And he's going to put it back. He might, here's what I'd love to do. Kind of a stealth and maybe palm a few personal things that I think I might be able to actually get back to somebody. Something that seems very personal, something that's very small, like a locket or something.
Give me a fate point and I will let you have it.
Oh, I like that even better. I mean, I don't, because fate points mean a whole lot in this game, but I do because I love what I'm doing. Fate point spent.
Okay. By the way, I need to change the counter, but my counter stopped working for some reason, and I don't know why. So that's just our life. We're gonna just have to deal with that. So you are looking through, and you see you see some like brilliant art. There's some things that you can sort of clearly get. And maybe your fingers are tingling for it. And as you're going through, you find a small, and I don't know what sort of encourages you to look this up at all, to sort of pick it up, but there's like a small music box, right? It's like a little music box, and you open up this music box, which begins to play, and there's like a little ballerina that sort of pops up and sort of spins around, but inside this music box there's a bunch of stuff that clearly they didn't actually go through. Like they're like, oh, music box. They kind of just like left it. And in this music box, there are photographs. There is an engagement ring.
Ooh, okay.
There is a locket which has on the inside two children and some hair. Like there's all these like very, very, very personal items sitting in this space, and something strikes you when you look at one of the photographs, and it's a picture of a man and a woman, and they are stylish, right? I would say these people, this photograph is probably from the 1920s, and they look to be, let me think, I've got to do the math right. Yeah, so they would look to be maybe in their 30s or so they're not particularly young people, but they're sort of dressed.
30s
stylish.
are still young, everyone, by the way.
But they're like they look a little, they're smiling, they're happy. The photographs seem to be being taken at some kind of rally of some sort, and they're there with a young girl who seems to be, maybe 10 or so. No, this is 20 years ago. Yeah, no, it's 41. So this photograph would have been in the early 30s. And there's like a young woman a girl who's like maybe 14 or so, 15, 16, 17. And the thing that strikes you for that fate point is that you recognize her. You recognize her. There's something about her sort of auburn hair and those brown eyes, and something about a look in her eyes. You know this woman. You know her today. She looks like she did. Like this, this is her as a young person. There is the woman. You know her. Her name was I wrote it down. Hold on, and I just looked it up again because I was thinking about it. Give me a second.
You randomly had a name of a locket person? Or
hey, when it's a fate point, it's not random.
Okay.
Her name is hold on. Yvette. Yvette. Okay. And Yvette is the woman who saved you when you first arrived in Paris and were looking a little bit too American. Yvette. And she's the woman who found you, I suppose maybe saved you again after you killed the serial killer and you were not in a good space, and she took you back to her apartment.
I remember that, yes.
And she danced with you. And this is clearly her when she's about 15, maybe 10 years ago. And it's a picture of her with her parents. And the parents,
this is a heartstrings trooper.
And the parents, from what you can tell from this rally, you would say were communists. It's a communist rally of some sort.
Right.
And these artifacts and objects that you're looking at seem to be the objects and artifacts of her parents.
Okay. I'm definitely going to palm that.
Yeah.
So that's all I'm taking. And if Sigmund comes back and
and by the way, you can also get some art if you like as well. But that fate point gives you this.
Well, I guess I'm in this, right? So I'm in this, and I gotta. Oh, I hate this so much. Damn it, Sigmund.
Mm-hmm.
Damn it, bad rolls. But I have the highest you can get. I have the highest you can get with deceive.
Mm-hmm.
It's great.
But you took the failed of major consequence.
So I'm gonna choose a few paintings that look fairly valuable, that don't seem particularly, I don't know, just seem vague, like vague paintings.
Yeah. Nothing too flashy.
Nothing too flashy. I'm not trying to take anyone's personal heirloom paintings or anything like that. I'm trying to just take a painting that I think I could sell pretty well, that no one's going to miss.
By the way, I'm sorry, I have to. Ziggy does not have a boost on you. You have a consequence, and your consequence is that Ziggy knows where you sleep. So put that in your 2 consequence slot.
I don't want to.
Yep. It's a consequence.
Do I have to?
Mm-hmm.
And that's a 2.
Yep. It's your 2 consequence slot is full.
Don't. You know what? I realized. You made me realize something.
Tell me.
I really now have a phobia of people knowing where I sleep because of you.
Thanks, man. I fixed
that.
I got the numbers are working. He's down to 5 community fate points and 1 of his solo.
Consequence smile, but how do I add a consequence?
It's in your character sheet.
Yeah, I'm in my character sheet. I'm just dumb.
I think you have to hit the. I think I can do it from here. Look at it. If you look at your where is our Tango? So consequences.
Where is a Tango? Oh, okay. Hold on. So there's this like label, and you can just rename it.
Yeah, that's right. You just rename the mild to whatever the new consequence is. You've added all sorts. I see what you've done.
Sick. I just kept adding shit.
Yeah. Just pick the mild one. And then we'll just get rid of those other ones later.
There we go.
Perfect. Sigmund knows where you sleep.
Sigmund knows where I sleep.
That's your consequence symbol.
It's a horror movie to me. I hate that.
And he comes back, right? You've sort of taken these things, and he comes back to you.
With the best shot. And
smiles, and he brings in like a bundle, right? It's like it's a coat, like a sort of a heavy coat that's sort of wrapped up with some stuff. And he's like, I have got these items from this Dimitri person you've mentioned. Everything is catalogued.
Good. Let's put it back here.
Excellent. So.
And did you get anything for the... Did anything come through with the others, or do you have to wait for that?
Oh no, that would not be in this warehouse. I'm going to have to go and look. There was a murder, you see.
Keep me informed of that.
Yes, I have to tell you, this will be a little bit difficult because that was a murder of somebody important. It'd take a little bit of work, you know. I've always been good at a little bit of sleight of hand, but I'll get it for you.
All right.
Let's go drinking.
Yes.
I want to show you some places.
Okay. Show me some places, because we are now business partners, apparently.
Yes, we are. It will be very good. It might be a little bit difficult, but remember, I've got connections as well as you. And you drive out of there, and you drive out, you know what I mean? And nobody says much because he's with you, and he's already sort of fixed the book so that it's fine. Things he just kind of didn't leave off. And he's going to sort of hand you an envelope with the name of the doctor, the things that he wants, and he's going to give you a big envelope that you're going to sort of look through. And he says, "In there are photographs of some people that I'm going to need some documentation for. I want you to give them French citizenship identity papers, so that they can be here without."
What is their origin?
It doesn't matter. Also, I need work permits. I need you to say that they're working at some place so that they have a job, so they won't be taken up somewhere else. So I need these people to have work paperwork and also identity paperwork. I need that for.
Of course. Well, I guess give me the information and I will take care of it later tonight.
Good. And also, this American doctor, whenever you have time, let's go. And he takes you off to a brothel. And it's a brothel that's open late at night, and there is music, there's alcohol. It's sort of in a basement. There are a lot of people, women for hire, and when I need an awareness from you.
Ooh, awareness.
Mm-hmm. Fair.
It's fair.
Mm-hmm.
It's a fair awareness.
Mm-hmm. You just notice that when he walks in, the bouncer gives him a kind of a meaningful look. They are not quite certain what it means, but sort of nods to him with a bit of weight to it. Like, like not like, oh, I've seen, like, oh, you're a regular, I've seen you here before, but more like with a bit of a deference, bit of respect. And he says, I have friends here. Anyone you want, you may have on me. And also alcohol. And he gets you a round of alcohol, as much as you want. And the question I would ask you is, do you partake?
Here's what I want to do.
Mm-hmm.
Because what I need more than anything is for him not to worry about Sylvie or where I live.
Mm-hmm.
Other than he just knows where I live. I don't need him to understand that
What
maybe
that
there's
relationship
something
means.
like what that relationship with Sylvie is. Yeah. I will not partake in any of the brotheling part of this, but I will use my life of the party. And what I'm going to do, because life of the party to me is also, I think that Tango is the kind of guy who does hold his alcohol when he is in that life of the party mode, like beast mode. And I think that also means that he can outlast Sigmund, probably, that he can outlast everyone. He knows how to have a good time and go, Sigmund, what you really need is another shot right now. Shot, that kind of thing.
I need deceive from you, I think.
Yeah, you can get that.
It could be rapport, but I feel like what you're actually doing is deceive right now.
What I'm doing, and honestly, I'm actually not getting all that drunk. I am just using life of the party. And I think
to make it seem like it.
This is what Tango used to do anyways, because I think you had to keep your head on when you're you had to, you're getting your contacts and people who are buying the goods or whatever. If you're taking them out or you're trying to swindle people, you never get more drunk than they do, because you'll lose sight. So this is an old tactic.
That's a fair. You can spend a fate point to make that a 4 because of the life of the party.
Let me spend a fate point. I'm going to use my own personal fate point to make that a 4. And I'm going to see if I can just outlast Sigmund. All right. And I'm basically make him think that we are best friends who just closed a deal. There's nothing going on. I am absolutely the Tango of old, the life of the party.
I am going to ask you a question. So when you do in fate, you can either just make a regular skill roll where you're trying to overcome a problem, where you've got a problem, you want to overcome it. But I think that this here was what we would call create an advantage. That you want to sort of create an advantage in this situation that's a little bit sort of longer lasting. And I think that we could call this advantage big man at the brothel.
Big man at the brothel? Okay. Big brothel brother man.
And this is a full-on advantage, and because you succeeded so well, you get 2 free invokes on this whenever you need to. So that means when you are in this brothel or doing things related to this, or we're in your amazing performance at this brothel comes up, you have an opportunity to just sort of spend some points there. And this will be able to be a thing that can come back with you for a while. Okay.
Because if we're going through the montage moment here,
I want the montage.
It starts off with Tango just kind of going, oh, I can't believe I'm doing happiness right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then Sigmund comes up and Tango just goes, all right. And he just claps his hands and he just starts saying, all right,
Mm-hmm.
before we get to the pleasures of this brothel, um, we need to drink and we need to celebrate this newfound camaraderie between us, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to order lines of shots
Mm-hmm.
between me and him.
Mm-hmm.
And what's going to happen is
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to also add water to the left of me. And then at a certain point, I'm actually going to, I was like, here's a drinking game.
Mm-hmm.
You take the shots, and we're going to see who can get these shots down the fastest.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And every time he's going to take a shot and look up, I'm actually going to take the, the drink, and I'm just going to throw it over my shoulder, put some, drink some water, that kind of thing. And as we're going down the shot, like I'm actually going to take the last shot with him, and I'm going to, look at him in the eyes, like take the shot. And it's just going to be kind of that drinking game over and over again. That style of thing. But at the end but it's also going to be, I'm going to tell anecdotes of our stories. Like, do you remember in Moscow, like, do you remember, you remember when you had to dress up as a professor to get into the certain, place to get the book, to get the thing, to get that's the whole montage scene here.
But there are other things, because what you've done is you've created a whole aspect here, right? You created a whole thing that's a little bit more.
I did get a little drunk. Let's be real. I still had to drink. So I also, by the way, made friends with the barkeeper.
Yes, you did.
The bartender.
Yes, you did.
Me and the bartender.
Yes.
I asked the bartender how he's doing in life. Like, we know each other now. We're pretty good friends.
Yes. Not just the bartender. You also now know
a couple of ladies.
You can know a couple of ladies. So you know a couple of ladies. You know the bartender.
I know what they're going to school for. I know what they're. Yeah.
You have got this because you didn't do just like a regular, but you did a Create Advantage, right? Sort of big man at the brothel. You now have a sense of who works here, who the bouncers are. You like people now in this place like you. They're positively disposed towards you. I imagine even that one of them pulled you out away for a little bit.
We had a cigarette outside. There was a moment where someone was crying about their ex, and I'm telling them, no, you're worth it. Don't do that. Don't go back. That was a toxic relationship. You shouldn't be doing that to yourself. Yeah. And then we go back in. Like, we had a bro moment. Like, I think even me and Sigmund had a bro moment at one point, but no, we're not going to remember it.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you also notice a couple of other things from this. You notice the clientele. There are a lot of Germans at this brothel. But then again, you also know that basically there are a lot of brothels that are set up specifically for German soldiers. And so there are a lot of German soldiers in this brothel sort of coming in and out. You notice that there's a small little jazz band, not particularly big, not particularly good, no singer. You kind of get a really good sense of this place, and the people in this place like you, right? And so you've got a sense here.
They like me more than they like Sigmund, who even introduced me to this place, and that's my.
They might.
Yeah,
they might.
That's something I would like. That pettiness. Tango's a very petty dude, and I think that would make him very happy. That makes me very happy.
You think you have some influence here, right? And he sort of spends some time with you, but then he goes off and he's like chatting with some sort of businessman looking fellow, right? He's doing his stuff, but it's like a late night and you do not get back, right? He will drop you off until early morning.
And I imagine he drops me off at Sylvie's.
He does.
Yeah, because he knows where I live.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to look at him like, I may not be here tomorrow. We'll see how everything goes.
We will see. We'll see.
Did you have a good night, Sigmund?
Yes, I did.
All right. Well, tell you what, why don't you help me get these paintings and things and what have you. Just put them over to the side here, and I will move it all upstairs myself.
Listen.
Yeah.
I have to tell you something.
Is it deep, dark, and personal? Because I don't know if we're that close.
We are.
Okay.
After tonight? Yes. I mean, we had a threesome. I think you were there.
We did not have a threesome, Sigmund. I don't do threesomes.
Well, I had a threesome with someone.
I don't know if you know this about me. I'm actually a jealous man. I like a lot of attention. I just want it all for me. That's way too much information for us sexually, I think, at this point.
No, it's okay. But listen.
Are you a switch? You know what? Don't answer that.
Okay.
Do not answer that. I don't even think that
I want to tell you something.
Yes.
Listen. I know how smart you are. I think I'm going to vomit. No, listen.
Oh.
Please
tell me how smart I am before you vomit.
Everyone in this city is stupid. They are sheep to be shorn. And it's a job for 2 people. And I am so excited. I can taste all of the money we are going to make together. Tango.
I'm going to put my hand on his shoulder, and I'm going to look him straight in the eyes, be like, I'm here to tell you, money tastes like shit, but it spins real well.
Do you remember the time you did that to me?
I take you for I'll be honest, I take you for a dom. I do. I take you for a dominant.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Do you remember that time when you gave me a sandwich?
Like a weirdo dominant, do my taxes, that kind of thing?
Yeah. But you made me a sandwich.
Paint my toenails. I like them blue, electric blue. Okay, sorry, go on.
And you put paper money in my sandwich. And paper money does taste like shit. It was terrible. And it was also my part of the deal, and I bit into my own... Anyway...
You bit into your own paper sandwich deal. Yeah.
I'm going. But I will see you for dinner. I will come by.
All right. Look, tomorrow I want to try to get your doctor's goods.
Oh, thank you.
Your pharmaceuticals. And we'll have dinner after that. Hopefully I can deliver.
There's no big rush on the pharmaceuticals. You can get it to me tomorrow. Anytime next week is also fine. It's not a...
Yeah, but I want it out of my life, kind of like I want you out of my life tonight because you need to go home. Wait. Are you good to drive?
Yes. I've only had, one moment. Wait.
Yeah. Okay. Well.
Wait.
Okay. Don't vomit on the steering wheel. That makes it. You'll just keep vomiting as you drive. And I've been through that. That's a cycle. It's a vomit cycle you do not want to go through. You just got to chew it back, brother. Chew it back. Chew it. Or just vomit on the street. I mean, why are you just vomit on the street? You gonna vomit?
No, I'm okay.
You gonna vomit?
No, I'm okay.
You gonna vomit?
He vomits on your shoes.
Okay. Yeah.
And after he vomits on your shoes,
today's been a vomit on your shoes kind of day.
Mm-hmm. He leaves you.
Yeah. And he leaves me, and it's like, I feel like it's like that film noir style where he leaves, and it's like, it's late night. And I want to say at this point, I can't speak for Sylvie's character. Obviously, she's not here to play Sylvie's character, but I'd like to think that Tango has just slowly become that kind of guy. I think Tango's become the kind of guy who stealthily has become very, I don't know the right word here. Comes home on time, has become like they're not boyfriend and girlfriend or anything like that, right? They're not steady or anything, whatever. But I think that he's just become very, what's the word?
Dependable.
Committed. Dependable. Yeah. That's right. Dependable.
So and I'm sure it's just because you're spies, right?
We're spies.
Yeah. It's just because you're resistance and you have to be dependable.
We have to be dependable. But I think that he's just become dependable for her. And this is probably the first time in a few months that he's probably come home this late. And he's going to come home with weird shit.
Vomit
on his shoes. So he's going to take all the stuff, and he might need to take a couple trips, but he's going to bring it all up to Sylvie's, and he's not going to hide it. He's going to put it in the living room. And especially on the because Sylvie's probably asleep at this point. So he's going to leave everything that was, what was his name?
Dimitri.
Dimitri. He's going to leave Dimitri's stuff. He's not going to look through it. He's not going to any of that. It's going to be very just like he found it this way.
Yeah.
He's going to put it on like the kitchen table, laid out. And for tonight, and he's also, and he's going to sleep in the bed with Sylvie.
Yeah. Taking off the shoes, of course.
Taking off the shoes. Oh, he's going to spend a little extra time.
Yeah. He's
definitely going to scrub the shoes down. So, yeah.
You are now in bed and starting your own crime empire.
Yeah. which is what Tango probably 6 months ago would love to have done, and probably what he was trying to do when he even scored this whole gig.
So you have gotten what you wanted 6 months ago. Well,
yeah,
not yet.
But I think that as he starts going to sleep, and he probably doesn't even sleep that night. He probably stays there, and he's just looking at Sylvie, the outline, the silhouette of Sylvie, and he knows in his mind that maybe this thing won't work, and it's not necessarily Sylvie may not be the answer forever, but it's the symbolism behind it now.
Yeah.
And he's watching the rising and falling of her breath, of her silhouette. And I think he puts his hand on her back, not enough to wake her, but just enough to just feel what it is that he really should be fighting for, and that he should actually be pouring his heart and soul into. And that's the thing that you love. And he's just going to shake his head at what happened tonight, and how easy it was, how he could have just at any point said no. They could have just driven away. But something in him, something from that old world had just made him feel like he could use this for the greater good somehow. And was it worth it? Was it worth it to get some of her old lover's things? Is it even what she wanted? Is it even a sweet thing to do? And Regina's stuff, is that even something she would want? Did he make deals for things that nobody really wanted, and was he just being selfish? These are all things that would keep him up at night. And he's going to sell that art, other people's art. It's not his. They were taken from them. In the past, he was the one taking it from them, or at least the middleman. So these are all the thoughts going through his mind. And in the closing parts, in the early night or the early morning, and that's when the voice comes back and in full bloom. And that voice is just telling him, you might as well go back home. Might as well just do what you do. It's just you, alone, looking after you. This is who you are. Who you always will be.
And the voice says, Johnny, this is a good deal you got. You could make so much money. The people whose stuff you're taking are probably already dead. It doesn't matter. Why let it go to waste? You know, that's what I would do. You know, you could make me proud, Johnny, if you pulled this off.
You know, maybe you have a point. Because when the war is over and ideally we win, Sylvie won't want a guy like me.
No.
And Rahina's going to go somewhere. Everyone I know here that I made friends with, they're just going to
They're gonna leave you just like Jules left you.
Jules. Yeah, I miss him. And he left me. I was just getting used to having friends.
Do you have friends, though?
Have you, right?
You do have me. I'm the only one that knows you.
He's gonna, again, not to wake Sylvie at all, but he's gonna like run his hand across the edge of her body. Not in a creepy way, by the way, everyone. This is we are people who are together and have done this before. So, but he runs this hand across the edge of her body. Is it bad that there's a part of me that doesn't want this war to end? For this moment, for the friends I have, people I never had this type of connection before. But it's gonna leave anyways, right?
You know, Johnny, I want you to know I never told you this before, but I'm proud of you.
Proud of me?
You killed someone. You've shown yourself to be a real man. You're not afraid of doing whatever it takes to get what you need for your own.
I don't know anymore what a real man is. I think a real man digs deep into what they want and what makes them happy. And I don't know what I want, what makes me happy anymore.
I do.
What's that?
You want to con the world. That's what you've always wanted. To be the best at conning people. Never let anyone be able to hurt you. Because you'll hurt them first. It's the thrill of making someone a fool.
Because you're all gonna stab you in the back anyways.
They will.
Might as well get one up on them before they do, right?
Or they're just not worth it. Some people are just sheep. Come on, Johnny.
Boring.
They're boring.
But you know what? I think you might be wrong. I think the only time that I listen to you is when it's real late and I've had a lot to drink and I'm real down on myself. That's what I think. And right now it's real late. I've had drinks. I'm real down on myself. You know what? Maybe for once, maybe I won't con the world. I'll just con a little bit. Just con the people I don't like. Hopefully help the people I do.
Johnny, I'm going to go for tonight, but I'm going to ask you a question. Do you wonder where I am right now?
You're in my head. I know you're in my head. It's where you live, festering on all my insecurities, and all the things that I never wanted to ask myself. Never wanted to face before. That's who you are.
Are you afraid that I'm visiting your mom right now? You know, I know where she lives. You thinking maybe I might be conning her right now?
You're just a voice. You're just a voice in my head. There's no way you're not even alive.
No, I might not be alive. What if I am?
I heard your dad. I heard it. Reliable. fucking reliable. I pay good money for that shit. There's no way you're still alive and you know where my fucking mother is. That's where he starts saying that out loud. And he gets up out of the bed. He's gonna walk over to the bathroom. He's gonna look in the mirror. He's like, you fucking live in my head. That's where you live. In my fucking head. You are not alive. You do not know where my mother is. And you will leave me forever. I don't know where you came from. I don't know why you started tormenting me. I will end it. And he's going to smash the mirror with his fists.
And that's where we're going to go on break. That's where we're going on break. So exciting. And when we come back from break, it'll be a brand new day. And I'm sure that Tango will be feeling fine. Will be just like great.
Tango's going to be, a cocktail of wonderful things.
And he's going to have to leave early, actually. He might have to leave right about now if he wants to go and scout out that location for the plane to land, which will be the day after. So, everyone, we're going to go on break. And in break, you have to drink water and also stretch your legs, hydrate. This is your job.
Also, everyone needs to give themselves a compliment.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And if you have a friend, you should text them. I mean, we all have friends, right? I think every one of us has at least one. I say text a friend a compliment tonight.
Yeah.
Do that.
And
maybe even a compliment in chat to somebody that you see frequently. Let's do that.
Yeah.
Because it was a bit of a heavy scene. So let's give everyone a little pat on the back.
Yeah. And I mean, I personally am very proud of Tango. Worried about him, but very proud of him. I think his no longer alive old mentor may be a little disappointed in him, but he's theoretically dead as far as you know. So So I want to sort of read out our 2 donations. Yesterday, actually 3. Yesterday. Today's Friday. Yes. Yesterday, Void Smoker, one of our amazing artists, donated $25 in advance because he couldn't be here. He said, in case I'm unable to catch tomorrow's episode live. So thank you, Void Smoker. Also, Rissa donated some bits, 1,000 bits, for reaching the radio goal. And we have a donation from Better Tango Partner for $50 saying, Ooh. Come dance over here, sugar. It's more rewarding.
Oh, hey. Hey there.
Oh. We're going to take a 10-minute break.
Dance.
And we've got some exciting radio work for you and a new piece of art from Void Smoker. We've got both. This is 2 little pieces I put together. We have Charles de Gaulle urging the Americans to get in the war, because at this point in time we have not. And then also Winston Churchill being like, oh. So we're going to take a break, and we'll see you in 10.
vit dans le cœur de chaque homme sur la terre. La date du 14 juillet remue quelque chose de grand. C'est parce que cette fête nationale française est la fête de la liberté.
This French National Day is a celebration of freedom.
Lui prodigue la liberté. C'est l'idéal pour lequel, de tout temps, les meilleurs parmi les hommes ont su combattre et mourir. Or, des forces terribles sont à l'œuvre pour détruire d'État en État, de continent en continent.
Dreadful powers are at work to destroy the freedom of all mankind.
Déjà, l'Europe, depuis Minsk jusqu'à Bordeaux, depuis Athènes,
All Europe lies crushed beneath their tyranny.
est écrasée par la tyrannie. Et cette tyrannie est totale. Car dans la guerre de Hitler, il ne s'agit pas d'une force militaire triomphant d'une autre pour la conquête d'une province ou le paiement d'une indemnité. Mais il s'agit d'un système intégral d'esclavage imposé aux vaincus.
In Hitler's war, it is a question of subjecting the vanquished to a system of slavery, absolute and unrelieved slavery.
Sinon, au gré du tyran, esclavage économique, sous couvert d'organisation.
There is bodily slavery and there is economic slavery.
Tous les biens, privés ou collectifs, sont mis au pillage par l'Allemagne. Et chaque nation, quels que soient les produits de ses champs et la puissance humaine, est placée pour sa subsistance.
Every nation is dependent for its daily bread on utter subjection to the conqueror.
Esclavage moral, sous prétexte d'ordre nouveau, Hitler impose à tous par terreur, corruption, propagande, de se faire
Finally, there is slavery of the soul.
forcer, de renier jusqu'à Dieu. Mais voici que les hommes libres du monde entier unissent leur geste colère.
Free men throughout the entire world are now uniting in their righteous anger.
Ils discernent que, suivant le mot du président Franklin Roosevelt, les succès de la tyrannie n'ont tenu qu'à leur division.
They understand that, as President Franklin Roosevelt has said, it is only through their disunion that the triumph has succeeded.
Les valides redressants et blessés pour précipiter Hitler et son système dans l'abîme des malédictions. Aujourd'hui, 14 juillet, soyez sûrs que cette pensée d'espoir, où vous autres, Américains, entrez pour une très large part, remplit les...
Today, on this 14th day of July, you may be sure that this hope, in which you people of America figure so largely, fills the souls of the French.
Dans l'histoire du monde, les plus grandes actions des plus grands peuples sont leur lutte pour la liberté. Cela est vrai pour mon pays, et cela est vrai pour le vôtre.
In the world's history, the greatest deeds of the greatest peoples have been their struggles for freedom. This is true of my country as it is true of your own.
Hello, everyone. We are back for the second part of episode 3 of City of Light and Shadow. Hey, everybody. How are you doing? Before we dive in, I just want to point out, I want to remind you all that at the end of the episode, I'm going to ask you all what you think the title of the episode should be. So just note that I'm going to ask you. So let's start. Let's dive in. It is early morning. You didn't sleep much. The sun is just rising up onto, it's becoming day. It's dawn.
Yeah.
What are you going to do?
Before Sylvie wakes, I'm going to go ahead and hold on just a second. There's something really weird with my audio. Okay. Before Sylvie wakes, I'm going to go out into Paris. I'm going to get my clothes on. I'm going to get myself dressed in my... Hold on. Sorry, everyone. I'm having technical issues. There we go. Oh, hey, I can hear myself now. Yes. Okay. Very good.
By the way,
I have a weird issue where if I can't hear myself, I can't communicate very well.
Chat, he does have 5 fate group points and no individual group points. This counter is being a little bit weird. That's all. That's it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's been a little weird. So he's gonna get dressed before Sylvie wakes up, and it's gonna be real early in the morning. And he's gonna take the. Do we know her name?
Who?
The one I got the keepsakes of.
Yvette. And you know where she lives. She
right.
took her because she took you to her apartment.
That's right. We danced in her apartment. So I'm actually going to, first thing in the morning, I'm going to take those items and I'm going to be dressed just in not my flashy outfits. This is going to be very generic, just a person in Paris. You could go either way as just a person outfit. And I'm going to go straight to Yvette's apartment. I'm going to knock on the door.
So you knock on the door as you're sitting there sort of in front of Yvette's apartment early in the morning. And it's quiet. There's no nobody answers at first. And then you hear a voice behind you. There's an older man, sort of stooped and bent. And he goes, Are you looking for Yvette?
I am.
Oh, she's at work.
At work. You don't have to tell me this, but do you know where she works?
Yes.
Okay. Specifically where she works.
Who are you?
I'm a friend. I'm going to smile, but this is not a cunning smile or any kind of smile that's going to be, it's going to be just a smile, as in like, I know you don't know me, but I am a friend. Or how about this? Maybe this is better. I'm going to bring over the keepsake. I believe this has been taken from you, or Yvette. And I'm wanting to return it. And
I'll keep it for you.
You'll keep it for me. How do you know Yvette?
I'm her neighbor.
You know.
You can that looks quite valuable. You could just leave it with me.
Of course. Why don't you actually just tell me where she works then?
He looks you up and down with a little bit of suspicion. What do you do for a living?
I acquire things for people. And I'd like to make sure this thing I've acquired gets to the right person, which is Yvette.
She works at a bakery. No,
Okay.
a tailor shop.
Bakery or tailor shop. Let's make sure your memory's good.
I'm old.
I'm going to pull out a cigarette.
A real cigarette?
Do I have some from my friend Sigmund?
Mm-hmm. You still have some left. You didn't smoke all through all of them.
I'm going to take one out. Like, do you smoke?
Yes.
Why don't you tell me where Yvette works for real and you get this nice, fresh cigarette? I think that's valuable, right? And at the end of the day, Yvette's happy and you will no longer be in my memory.
Well, I don't want to be in your memory.
You don't. Because you don't know who I am and what I do.
No. If you hang out with her, I have an idea. I don't want your cigarette. I'll tell you where she works.
Mm-hmm.
She works over at that cornflower blue tailor shop. About down that way. I don't want to know anything about it. And I don't want to know about you.
Well, you've been an absolute joy.
And he looks at you. The look is not a good look. It is... He looks at you like you are trouble. And that he's got your number. You don't know what that means, but he thinks he's got your number. Like, it looks like he thinks that he's got your number, and he doesn't like it.
I'm too tired. It's too early in the morning, and he's too right. So I'm just going to say, all right, sure you don't want a cigarette? It's just on the house, man.
With your kind, there are always strings attached.
Suit yourself. I'm going to put the cigarette in my mouth. I'm going to light it.
Oh no, it smells so good. And you can tell that he's like, Yes.
Wow.
Hypocrite. He says as you're walking away.
This would have been yours. So I'm going to go to that shop.
You go across town, across Paris to the cornflower blue tailor shop. And it is small. It's not particularly big. And there's like a couple of sort of like dress forms in the front window. There's a bit of a window. But there's it seems very sort of pleasant and upfront, and the doors open because they're open kind of early, and when you walk in, there are people there at this tailor shop, and it's sort of a little after dawn, which is kind of early for a tailor shop to be open. It's sort of like a tailor and a laundry, and so maybe they're just sort of doing laundry in the back, perhaps, and you see sort of in like there's like a curtain, but like there's like a counter, right, where there's a person at the counter. There's this sort of open space in the front, and there's like a curtain that will lead you in the back, and you can hear the sounds of washing, right? You can hear the sounds of sort of industry in the back, maybe the sound of a sewing machine. So clearly there's sort of activity in the back that seems to be of the kind of sort they would have in this work. I need to ask you a question before I tell you any more, though.
Okay. And I also have a request whenever.
What is your request?
My request is that if there's anywhere in the beginning of the shop where I can actually attach a note to this, I like to write a handwritten note, and I'd like to, like I imagine some kind of like string to a paper note, and like to put that on the actual keepsake somehow, however you can tie it in. Yeah. And I'll tell you what the note is later. But what is your question?
What does your mother look like?
My mother looks like she's a strong woman, and by that I mean a woman that actually looks a little younger for her age, because she's actually quite in shape, because she's always on her feet and she's using her hands. She's probably got 2 or 3 different jobs. Not and none of these jobs are, paying very well, but they're all very on your feet and using everything with you. So she's actually kind of, um, I would say, athletic. Had me young. So she's not terribly old, but starting to go gray, and doesn't do a whole lot of beauty things, right? Doesn't invest in makeup, and doesn't invest in any of that stuff. She's very just natural beauty wins over. If that's a pretty good descriptor or not, but
What color hair?
I would say her hair is black, but starting to gray.
Eyes.
We're going to go with brown. I would say, I wouldn't even say younger, but even at this age, Tango's a very attractive man, and so is she. She's she's an attractive man. She's a very, very attractive lady. But she's also very humble with it, doesn't quite see it that way, doesn't, and almost like Tango can kind of sniff out when someone's just looking at you because you're pretty. Probably the worst thing you can say to her is, "Oh, you're pretty," say something else, like compliment how well I'm handling this conversation.
And when you walk in this shop, which is open, probably, it's probably because they do laundry. It's probably why they're open so early. There's a woman behind the counter, and she has got sort of like black hair starting to gray. She reminds you a little bit of your mother, although she looks older, and a little bit more weathered, and just a little bit stronger through the shoulders. And she's dressed, but like your mother, she's actually not wearing any sort of makeup. She's probably a little bit, maybe quite plain in certain ways, not particularly fancy. There's nothing showy about her. She's wearing a plain dress. She's got sort of a scarf around her head, just sort of as opposed to the hat that's sort of keeping her hair up for whatever work she has to do. She's got strong hands, and she does have the one thing that sort of the dress is sort of like a gray. It's nice, but it's not flashy. There's one thing that sort of stands out, though, is that she has got a blue flower pinned to her dress, a fresh flower. It's fresh, and it's this sort of splash of color that that sort of is out of place for the sort of subdued nature of all the rest of her. And when you walk in, she smiles at you, and she says, in a kind of a bit of a working class French Parisian accent, and she's like, "Good morning, monsieur. How may I help you?"
Good morning, madame. I am looking for Jeanette.
Yvette.
Sorry. Yvette. There's a lot of ettes.
It's true.
In this game.
Who may I say?
Tell her it's Tango.
She gives you another look, and she says, "It's a bright day today, isn't it?"
Getting brighter every day.
And she goes out through this curtain, leaving you alone in the front of the shop for a little bit. And not too long. And a man's face pokes through the curtains and looks at you briefly. and then pokes his head back in. Like, sort of pokes out and looks at you and goes back in. I think I'm going to need an awareness from you.
Oh, don't tell me they're going to shoot me. I'm just delivering a box. All right, 2.
Not good enough. Unless you want to do something about it. You could spend a fate point.
Here's what I'd like to do. Because right now, they've retired to the back, right? And they've looked at me and then they've retired back. Like they're just like probably back there talking. I am not dealing with this. And it's not like a not dealing with it. Like, look, I get it. There's some other weird stuff going on. There's all kinds of crazy, everyone's a spy shit going on. All I'm trying to do is deliver this fucking keepsake. So I'm going to go over to the counter and I'm going to put the keepsake on the counter, right? And I bet there's like a little bell or something. And I'm going to ring it a few times. I'm going to be like, I have found something that I feel like was lost. I'm just yelling at that. Not yelling at, but like loud enough that someone would be like, I don't want anything from anyone. All I want to do is deliver something that has been lost because Yvette helped me, and so I'm helping her back. And that's all. And I'm going to walk out.
Before you finish that,
turning around,
Yvette comes through the curtain with the older woman and also the fellow. But you're not going to do anything about that tie, are you? That you got on that awareness check. Because you can spend a fate point if you want, or you can succeed at a minor cost.
I'm just going to succeed at a minor cost.
Okay. Take we're going to take a mental stress just because you've not slept a lot and it's kind of like a little bit.
Yeah, I haven't slept. It's been a weird. I don't even know how to describe the day. It's been a day of defeat in a lot of ways. Okay. One stress.
Yeah, just one little stress is what you're going to take.
Mental, not physical.
And it's one little mental stress, just for your sort of exhaustion in some ways and like the kind of difficulty of this day. But what I would say is, as you're standing there and you're saying the thing, and this guy comes out, Yvette comes out, the woman who's behind the counter comes out, and it's that moment that you actually recognize that man. You have seen him before. Specifically, you have seen him at Bricktop's. He has been to Bricktop's, and this is like, because you're quasi manager-ish, like you're there quite a lot. And
when Sylvie lets me be manager, I'm the manager.
Yeah, when she lets you.
When not, I'm just like, I don't know, doing stuff and things. And helping people out. And you have seen him in your bar. He's not a regular. And you don't recall seeing him a long time ago. He's new. You've seen him in your bar maybe 2 or 3 times in the last week or so. 2 weeks, last couple of weeks. He's been here recently in your bar, and like, you don't know him because he's just been a customer in the bar, but I would note that this neighborhood is not the same neighborhood as your neighborhood, but maybe he's there for the jazz, I don't know. But there's this older woman, this young man, and he is strong looking. He looks there's a little bit of an air of danger about him. Not that he's threatening you, that's not what I'm saying, but what I'm saying is that he has a sense, he's the kind of person who looks like he could handle himself in a fight. Right.
And they come out following Yvette just to see. There's a bit of a weird vibe. Is I think the best way.
There's nobody else in right now, right? Like it's just them coming out. Okay. So I was probably halfway through the door when they started coming out. I'm just going to turn slightly, but still like where my, I'm just kind of looking over my shoulder. I was like, anyways, that's for you.
Now, I don't know if you
Somehow
remember.
it got lost, and just want you to have it back.
I don't know if you remember, but this was the name of the place that Falstaff says was a communist zone.
Yeah, I'm getting all that, by the way.
Yeah.
I realized that as you were saying everything.
Yeah,
and the blood is going cold.
Yep.
In me.
And just, I sure, but in case the audience didn't hear it, last week,
there's a communist cell that we have talked about giving up
to the Nazis for fun,
to the Nazis
and profit.
And this happens to be the communist cell, and this happens to be somebody that has helped me out, and I had a very pleasant night with.
And she's come out, and the first thing you see her do is she turns to this man, and then she turns to the woman just very quickly, and she just kind of gives a quick nod. It's a very sort of small thing, and the minute she gives this nod, they sort of just kind of back off, and she smiles, and she goes, Tango, and then she looks at the box, and her face falls.
And on the box, on the card, it's going to say, "You are everything beautiful in the world."
Where did you get this?
I think it's best not to ask questions like that. Just know that I was in a position to acquire it, and so I did. You helped me out in the tight spot, not just in I'm just going to wave my arms around, political sense, but also in an emotional sense. I enjoyed the dance, and well, it wasn't right that this has been taken from you, and just want you to have it back.
And she takes the music box and she opens it up, and the song plays, and I need to change this because I feel like I'm off center and I don't like that. And this little music box sound plays, and she opens when she sees these artifacts from her parents, and these sort of tears well up in her eyes as she is able to see these things that she has not, that were taken from her parents. And she is sort of in this sort of very emotional moment, but this emotional moment is cut off by the woman who says, Monsieur Tango, we know about you.
What can I call you? And I'm sorry, madam, that I'm at a loss. You have me at a disadvantage.
It is okay. Yvette speaks well of you. If you would, you can come back to the back. Louis, will you watch the front? And he seems a little reluctant to let some strange man go in the back with with this woman. But well, he listens. He listens.
I'm going to pat that guy in the back and be like, you smoke?
Yes. Oui.
I'm going to take the last cigarette out of the pack because I don't think I had many.
It's true.
Fresh. I'm going to hand him my last one. Like, last one. So we're best friends forever, right? I'm just going to pat him on the back. Here you go.
And he takes the cigarette, and he doesn't even light it at first. He just smells it. Right? He just smells.
Smell it, savor it, smoke it for a special occasion. Either when something's really good, smoke it, or when shit really hits the fan, I suggest you smoke it then as well. I'm gonna have a chat, but thank you for watching our back. All right.
And you you get the sense that he carries himself. You've been around. Why don't you roll me? You have resources criminal, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Why don't you roll me that?
3.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. It says good.
It is good.
Good is good.
Good is good. He carries himself like a person who probably has a gun on him.
Yeah.
I
know the type.
Guns are not easy to get. People do not have guns at this point in time. That's not a good thing to have.
Do I have a gun on me, by the way? I think I do.
You have a gun.
Yeah.
You still have a.
You have Jean's gun?
You do.
Okay.
You do. The question is whether you brought it with you. That's up to you.
Yeah. I'll say for this
because you might have, because you're going to go off on a thing.
I did, because I know I'm doing a lot today. Yeah. So I have that tucked in my back, like back belt loop.
Other people may not have picked up on it, but you just get that sense that he carries himself that way because you've been around these circles.
And that's why I'm treating him with special care because I know the guy.
Yeah.
That's the one guy in the room you want to be good friends with. You want him to hesitate before anybody else.
Mm-hmm.
Decision makers, fine, but they're not always the triggers, the people who pull the trigger.
Mm-hmm. And so this older woman.
Are you right? I don't have Jules' gun because that went down a crate.
It did, but you have somebody else's gun. You have.
I have someone else's gun.
You have. You picked up a gun from Falstaff, I believe.
Mm.
I think you have Falstaff's gun.
I have a gun.
You have, I believe you have Falstaff's gun.
And with my criminal resources, I would have gotten a gun in the last 2 months. So there we go. Anyways, but I don't have Jules' gun, which is deeply regretful. Anyways, so I'm gonna go into the back room.
And you're brought into the back, and the first thing you're confronted with is racks and racks of clothing, like a huge amount of clothing on hangers, so much so that you cannot see what's beyond the clothing on the hangers. It's just sort of like lots and lots of laundry that has been done, hung up, clothing that's been repaired, and you have to go through these sort of racks of clothing to get further back, and she pulls you back further. And then when you get further back, you get towards this, and then when you get past these clothes, you see then on either side this sort of like bank of sewing machines, and there is a woman who is sewing. She's on the sewing machine. She's working on the sewing machine, which is sort of making quite a bit of sound. And then there's like a kind of a sort of industrial washing machine that's sort of going and causing a lot of sound as well. So it's actually quite noisy back here and very cluttered, and it's hard to sort of get a thing. And she then keeps moving you back. And as you're walking, this woman who's on the sewing machines is watching you. She's just watching you. And there's another young man, and he is sort of standing by the washing machine, and he's just watching you. And this older woman and Yvette, they sort of like move you back past all of them, and to like a small corner that you cannot see. You'd have to actually really sort of know where you're looking for. And there's a small trap door on the floor underneath a rug. She like moves this rug past, and then there's this trap door. She opens the trap door, and there's this
all I wanted to do was deliver a damn box.
There's a stairwell going downwards. And the older woman, she just walks down this stairwell first, and Yvette sort of gestures for you to follow.
All right, I'm gonna walk down. This was not why I was here.
And Yvette follows and shuts down the trapdoor, and you can hear somebody move the carpet back on top.
Right. And
you're brought into a basement, and this basement has in it something very the first thing you notice in this basement is a printing press. There's a printing press, like a small printing press right in the bottom of this basement, and another young man sitting with a shotgun, not pointed at you, but he's just there with a shotgun. There's this printing press in here. There's some crates in here. You see some rifles like sort of stacked up on these crates. It's a kind of a slightly full and busy place. And there are a number of chairs. There's like a table. There's a little light. There seem to be cans of food in here. Like it looks a little survivally in a certain kind of a way. And the printing press is actually being run by this young man who's who's running some leaflets.
So as everyone, I don't mean to interrupt you, but as people are starting to sit down and do their things, like, look, I don't know, and I'm looking at Yvette too, is like, thank you for showing me your secret hideaway base. I was not here for this. All I wanted to do was deliver this keepsake to Yvette because I know that it was probably very important and I happened to stumble across it. Yes, we're all involved in something very secret and weird and ideally against the Nazis. Everyone here, raise your hand if you're against the Nazis. Can I get a hand raised if you're good? Okay. You in the back with the printing press? Yeah. Okay, good. We're all against the Nazis. This is great. Wonderful. This is amazing.
And the woman, she just goes, sit.
Yes, madam.
All right. I know why you're here, I'm certain. You're here to coordinate.
No, I'm not.
No.
I just said I wasn't. I just told you.
Yes.
What I wanted to do was just give Yvette the box because I found it. This is
Young
not going to work out great for everyone. Yes.
We've already heard about you all.
Oh, I need a drink. Is it too early for a drink?
Of course not.
Jerome?
I need a drink. And she says to the man at the printing press, who's like, ugh. And like he's a little bit irritated because he's working the printing press, but he stops and he goes.
Printing press man, if there's a way you can also get a drink yourself, I'd say go for it because this is going to be a bit of a doozy.
And he brings out some vodka and he sort of pours some glasses of vodka, and he goes and he sort of goes back to the printing press, and it's clear that everyone defers to her, this woman. And she says, "Now, young man."
Yes, I'm here.
My son Sylvain, you met him. He's upstairs watching the front.
It's a good man. He's a strong man. I'm sure he watches the storefront for you in case Nazis come in and he bashes their faces in.
Indeed. But we have heard about you.
Yeah.
Word has gotten around.
Oh, no.
And
were they good words?
Yes.
Kind words?
This is what we have heard.
Do people say I'm pretty?
Well, and she just gives this sort of slight glance over to Yvette, who blushes a tiny, tiny bit. And she says, "We're not here to discuss who might think that you're a good dancer or not."
Oh, good dancer. I'm just going to wink at Yvette.
And she just sort of gives this smile and kind of looks down. She's clearly still in this kind of slightly emotional space because something really important to her has been returned. And she says, "Well, we weren't certain that you were trustworthy, that you were someone we could talk to. Yvette spoke highly of you, but we had to check out for ourselves. Sylvain has been to your establishment.
Right.
We have heard that you have been doing work, getting people out of the city. We've heard that you are on the right side."
Oh my goodness. Yes. We're on the good guy's side. Oh my goodness. I'm sorry. It's been a weird day. I'm having a lot of self-discovery moments. I think that I didn't really sleep last night. I have a contact that now knows where I live, that I don't want to know where I live. It gets real weird from there. And honestly,
Young man.
Yes.
Sit. You are sitting. Listen.
I am sitting.
I assume you're here.
Now? I could sit and then stand.
Yes,
Then stand and then sit.
I assume you're here to make connections between our groups.
No! I was here to give Yvette this box because she was very kind to me. I didn't know everyone in this
Give me a deception
town is
Give me a
involved.
deception roll. I need deception from you. Is what I need.
Because I think I already knew that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 4.
Mm-hmm. 4.
Ooh,
She thinks
kinda
that you're
cancels it
lying. She thinks that you actually were here for.
Not anymore because I spent a fate point.
Oh, what's your justification?
My justification
Mhm.
is, mm,
What's your aspect that will allow you to
God, I
convince
almost
her?
want to use nose for a double cross because I know our faction's about to
Yeah,
double cross
yeah.
theirs,
Hmm.
and I want to do everything I can just to make things, I don't know, vague,
Okay. Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
And to be completely honest, it didn't dawn on me. It really didn't dawn on me. Like I knew going into this what's going on,
Hmm.
but I'm trying to hide that I already knew about their faction.
Yeah.
I'm trying to make it
Yep.
sound like this is the first time
Yeah.
I'm understanding stuff.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, so I do that. I'm like, okay,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
listen, I had a nice dance with the vet. And honestly, I'm really glad you guys are doing what you're doing because we're doing the same thing. And I think you know it. Right?
Yes,
You know what I'm involved with. You
of
know what
course.
is going on here. Making alliances within different cells, as you maybe want to call yourself,
Mhm.
as we call ourselves, is tricky and dangerous. You know this.
Yes. There's danger, but if we join together, we can do greater good.
I'm going to look at that. I'm going to look at them. What do you have to offer?
And the older woman, she smiles, and she says, "You may call me Mother Courage."
Mother
Glad.
Courage.
Yes.
Great. I just got a question, and sorry if I'm being very blunt with this.
Mhm.
I'm gonna drop like any French accent at that point,
Yeah.
kind of like more of an American accent. It's just
Yeah.
like, I'm American, y'all. And just letting you know, you guys are communists, right? You guys are big giant communists. You love communism. You're commies. You love
Yes.
it, right?
Why wouldn't we be? Look at how, even in this moment, the workers are being oppressed. This whole system, these Nazis have always been opposed to communism. The workers should be treated fairly. They should be able to own the fruits of their labor. And the oppression of the masses by those with power, those who have noble titles or millions of francs.
Right. My
How is
point
this?
is, I want you to know that I am American. And I don't want you to I want you to understand that you know that I'm being forthright here.
I know
And I
that there are
appreciate
good
you.
comrades in America as well.
Yes, it's not. Oh, right. Yeah. No, you have a point. I guess it's just, ooh, everything gets real weird when you put politics in it. Look, you just want to shoot some Nazis? We'll shoot some Nazis. We'll all shoot some Nazis together. You know what I mean? Like we'll just have a good old time just getting the Nazis out of Paris. And you guys can get back to work and do your thing. We'll get back to our lives and do our thing. That's what we're doing here, right?
Young man, have you seen what is happening in this city?
Oh, I have seen what's happening. This, yes, yeah, I have scars over what's happening in this city. Okay, don't. Yeah,
And you
have
have
I
seen
seen
how
it?
they're rounding up thousands of people off the streets and bringing them who knows where. And have you seen how the children in this city are starving? And the old people in this city are starving because there is no food, because it is all blockaded. Have you
Ooh.
seen the way the people here are suffering, young man?
Oh, I know.
Hmm?
Trust me, I know.
Good.
I know they're suffering, and if I could end the suffering, I would.
Good. Well, then let's discuss. We believe that you must. It occurs to me that maybe you don't know our qualifications.
I believe I have never met you before, and you took me to, I walked through your tailor shop and into a secret base. You called me young man about 7 times. You told me to sit down. You got me some alcohol. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Breakfast alcohol is the best alcohol. I've always said that. By the way, raise our hands. Who likes breakfast alcohol? I'm going to raise my hand. Good. All right. Everybody raise their hand. Good. Then we're all decent people here. That's how you know a Nazi from someone else. They don't like breakfast alcohol. I guess all I'm saying is it's been a weird day, and I don't know if I'm the right person to negotiate cell to cell. You know what? Maybe I am. I don't know. Maybe I am the leader here. Here's what we do. I know where you're at. You know where I'm at. We both want to do bad things in Nazis, right? So how about this? You scratch my back, and I will scratch your back with equal or more scratching, or maybe with one of those back scratchers, like the nice wooden kind, but not like the cheap wood kind that you find like a
young man
general store. But I mean like the nice wood that like maybe it's handed down, like an heirloom back scratcher. You know what I mean? An heirloom back scratcher. I've always wanted one. I know people have them, and they have like
young man
on the back. Yes.
Young man.
Yes.
I'm a little bit worried about you, but listen. We have vetted you. We have been watching you all for a few weeks now. We think good things about you. We have discussed this. But listen.
Can I ask you a question?
No. Well, all right.
I'm sorry.
Go on.
You seem like the kind of woman who's worked her entire life.
Yes.
On her feet.
Yes.
As much as any man, if not more.
And yet I cannot vote in this country, unlike you in your country, the United States, where women can vote.
Fucking bullshit, isn't it? Sorry.
And that's why we need a revolution. And to do that, we must get rid of these Nazis. My group is, how shall we say this? Very active. You perhaps might have heard rumors of some of the things we've done recently.
Yeah.
The bombing of the rail car.
The destruction. You guys are loud.
Yes.
Maybe even louder than us.
Sometimes, but there are things you haven't heard we've done as well.
Well, there's definitely things we've done that you've not heard of, and probably you have no clue what we've done because we're that good.
I know you've saved people.
Except for the signs. Did you know about the signs?
We noticed. We didn't know who did it, but we thought it was a good idea.
Oh, that was us. I'll claim that one. That was us.
Oh.
Yeah, it was really nice. Really proud of that one. Okay.
We believe in being a bit more active. We've been running this press for some time from the beginning, but we have begun to be more active since the invasion. We think that sort of sitting around and sneaking and whatnot is important and valuable, but we have to take the fight to them. We must be much more disruptive. We believe in not sitting down and taking it lightly as these atrocities are happening, and we need more allies, and we believe that you are good.
You're not a switch, you're a dom. No, I get it. You know what? That was a conversation that I was very drunk for. That pretend like I did not say that because you look like my mom, and I'm sorry. I did not want that conversation to happen in front of you.
All right.
Ooh, maybe it's not a good time. You know what? But you know what's really weird? Everybody, just for a moment, it's really weird that when you get really hungover, the best cure for a hangover is more alcohol. You ever notice that?
Young man.
Yes. Yeah.
And she walks over to you, and she's a little hard, Mother Courage.
Yeah.
She clearly has had a harder life. And she puts her hand on your shoulder.
Oh, please don't. Mother Courage.
And she says,
it's too motherly.
You seem distressed. It's difficult to make negotiations when you're in a state.
I am in a state.
I will bring you soup. You should.
Oh shit.
And there's like a bit of there's a cot. There are a couple of cots so people could like sleep here. She's like, you can sleep over there and take a short nap, and When you wake, I'll bring you food.
Little did you know that soup is the one thing that that Tango remembers fondly his mother making for him. So the moment she says soup, he melts and he's instantly 14. I'll just have soup, actually.
All right, well, I'm going to bring you soup then.
How about this? Listen, I understand you're aggressive. I understand that you are taking the fight to the Nazis and you need to do that. Other cells, other people, the whole resistance movement, it's been far too
disparate.
Few and
not enough people are standing up. Most people are sleeping. Yeah.
Listen,
Jerome, get this young man soup. And Jerome, who's trying to finish the printing the secret newspapers, stops and he sort of heads up the stairs.
And once the soup smell comes over, Tango knows he's fucked.
Mm-hmm.
He leans back. He's like, Mother Courage.
Yes, young man?
A lot of things will start happening very soon.
Yes.
Whether we like them or not, whether we're doing them or the Nazis are doing them, a lot of things are happening, and you know them as well as I do. I need to know the best spots to receive something from London. And I believe you might be able to help me with that. It's something that needs to be done soon. And I will either leave here and scout it myself, or you already have something of the sort that you use for the motherland? Perhaps.
Eat your soup.
Yes, Mama.
Well, you want some place where I assume a plane or so could land?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. There?
I do.
No.
I can't believe I'm doing this. I am just getting deeper into... Sorry. Did I say that out loud?
You did.
I'm very tired, and I love this soup. This is so good. It's a homemade recipe?
It is.
Go on, Mama.
Well, we, of course, are not able to get things in from the east by plane. That's not a trip that we can make with our capabilities, and we're not getting that sort of support. It would be lovely if we could get support from... You said you work with London. Interesting.
Oh, I did. Shit.
They are reluctant.
This is a bad day.
It's all right, young man. They're reluctant to work with us. I was hoping that you were a little bit more independent than that, but being an American and all, I thought you might be less... well, like the British can be. But I have... I know people who work the land, and so I know places, fields, locations where something could be landed, and I know farmers and other people out there who could help keep this safe. When would this need to be?
Yes, preferably farmers and people who can help keep things safe, who look another way and don't say anything, and perhaps people who can help at the time of a drop-off to I don't know, run interference in case there are Nazis patrolling. That would be ideal. And in return, what if I can get you guns?
She smiles and she looks at the stack of guns over there.
Something.
She's like, that we have. What are you getting from London? We also have explosives, which are very useful. So, what are you getting from London?
You want to know, and this is like almost like a moment of clarity. We're getting nothing from London. If you want to know what I really think, there's some support, sure. We're getting a whole lot of thumbs up. Keep doing your thing. There's sometimes coordinates of things, but for the most part, we're out here for ourselves, just like you. And I imagine it's the same with you.
Yes, it is.
You got your guns. Did perhaps whoever your benefactors were just give you the money for them?
No, we had to do that ourselves.
Yeah. Well, welcome to the party, because that's what we're getting from London right now. We're getting a whole lot of thank you. Also, they're not even sure our cell is even legit. So that's what we're getting. And I imagine you're getting some of the same. Not only are you looking at your front, but you're protecting your back, because no one knows if you're compromised or not. Does that sound about like what you're seeing? Because that's exactly what we're seeing.
Well,
and if that's true, then maybe you are on the up and up, and maybe you're fighting a good fight, because we fucking are.
But we're also seeing our good General de Gaulle throwing us under the bus and ignoring us because he doesn't like our politics. I thought we were all in this together. But they are out there and invading. They're still holding their empire while Vichy runs wild. It's shameful.
Shameful. Look, I'll be honest. I don't get into politics. I get into things like money, lifestyle.
Oh.
And
young man, that is
I'm
not
having
what
a
truth
moment
is.
of clarity here, because I've had a few drinks last night. I'm having a drink tonight. I'll be honest, I don't know if she's my girlfriend, but I really like her. And I spent the night with her last night. And I just really had the thought of like wanting to. I'm sorry, Yvette, if that was too
you
much.
You see Yvette's face fall a little bit, just a little bit.
I'm sorry, Yvette. I wasn't trying to lie to you earlier. I really wasn't. It was a beautiful dance. There's a reason why I had to leave. I just want to be truthful, Like I just want to be truthful. I want the Nazis to leave. I want everyone to be happy.
Mother Courage just kind of puts her arm around your shoulder.
This is so good. Look.
We can help you, young man.
So if you can help me get a spot for London,
yes,
maybe they can give us some information in return. You seem to already have weapons, but what if we can provide you? What if we can provide you targets?
We are doing our own work on that front, however. Sharing information is never bad, but I must say...
But are you wining and dining your targets? Are you playing cards with your targets? Because
no.
I will tell you right now, I am.
Interesting. We are a bit more... Our connections...
I have company holiday parties with my targets. Do you?
No.
Yeah, well... Well, that's what Tango offers.
We know things about the rail. We know things about factories. We have our pulse on the working person. Also, a number of people who are smaller to those who do not care. We have that information.
Well,
we are trained.
Here's what information we provide as a specialty. The Gestapo and the German intelligence. We've worked intimately with both, and we continue to. You will hear rumors. And he just kind of smiles at the soup.
I'm going to need from you a rapport to convince her that what you're saying is legit and you're not actually double agents.
That's a mediocre. Let me spend a fate point to reroll. And let me do maybe unlikely leader.
Yep.
Where I'm just gonna
I roll a 5.
I can I see her eyes drop. Like I don't believe you. I look at Yvette, and Yvette's like, like this is a strange day to take Tango in and do this, right? Man, my rapport is low. Okay. That's average.
She rolled a 5. You're 4 down.
Jesus.
But you spent one, right, for the you spent one fate point, so that puts you at 3, so you're 2 down.
Mm-hmm. So I don't think I have anything I can do at that point. I'm just going to have to eat it, right?
You can succeed at a major cost.
Okay, what would that major cost be?
The major cost would be that you should offer her something quite meaningful. I will tell you what she wants, as she says to you.
Okay.
First, she wants to know, tell me, young man, what are you going to be getting from London? Sending in I assume a plane, or is it a plane, or is it a parachute?
Do I know this?
Plane.
Plane, okay. I want to look at her straight in the eyes, and I will say, it's a plane.
That's good to know, because finding a place for a plane to land is different from finding a place for a parachute drop. What will you be receiving, young man?
I forget, what is it? What is it?
Radios. That's what you know. Right? There might be other things, but as far as you know, radios.
Radios.
Oh. Well,
which
we don't have.
Oh no.
Young man.
You want radios, don't you?
We would like one radio. We don't have that. And we would like, that would help us immensely with our group. Well, actually, to be fair, we really need 2 radios. We would need a second. If we could get 2 radios.
Do I know how many radios are actually coming in?
What you know is that Regina asked for 5. You don't know how many.
I do not want to take like almost half our radios.
You don't know how many are actually coming, though.
Okay.
But that is your success at a major cost. She will believe that you are not actual double agents when the rumors happen, because the rumors will happen.
Mm.
And if you take it, you would be able to rewrite one of your faction aspects, because you have the allies, the cleaners, that criminal gang. You could rewrite that to have allies, this communist cell, if you wanted to.
And I also love what people are saying in chat, like, Regina will kill me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And this was all because of a self-discovery day where Tango wanted to be a good person.
Mm-hmm. So that's your thing. You can succeed at the major cost. The major cost is you give up those radios. 2 radios.
2 radios. I'll look her in the eyes and I will say,
we don't have the connection.
For your help with getting us and securing a place for a plane to land, or for a plane to drop off these radios.
And security. We have a lot of security, young man. Most of them are out in the countryside, however. But we are building something very strong.
Sure you are. And you're asking a lot, but also you're trusting a lot.
We will also give a lot in return, young man.
What will you give in return?
Well,
support when we need it?
Yes, without a doubt.
And how do I know you're not... I don't know. Gonna double cross me.
Young man. I am a mother of 3 sons. I'm a grandmother of a small, small child who's only 2 years old. This is my country. This is a country that I will bleed for, and I have. This is a country that could be greater than it is now. This is a country of revolution, young man. This is France. This is a place of enlightenment. This is the place of liberty, fraternity, and equality. At least in ideals, if not in practice. This is a country whose leadership has abandoned it or turned to the Nazis. If I do not fight this fight, who will? But I cannot fight it alone, young man. And what I do not have are the international contacts that you do. But I have the hands. I have the hands that can turn the wheels or that can break them. If you want sabotage, I have it. And it's not for you, it's for France. It's for my grandchildren. It is for a future where the working person will be equal, man or woman, where we will not suffer just because of where we were born or who we were. The France that will come out of this, and we will come out of this, will be a France. It'll be the kind of France that I want my grandchild to grow up in. My children. And I'm willing to die for this cause. But I'm not willing to die in a stupid way, my young man. I will live quite a long time, and every moment I live, I will be killing some Nazi. And I suspect, from what Yvette says of you, that this is something that you would care about as well. I'm not asking for strings, I'm asking for a partnership. That we work this fight together. And I suppose if there's anything I would ask, any favor at all, because I don't think that you ask favors in this way, we're comrades. We're comrades in this fight. What I would say, if there's some sort of favor that I might ask, is that London won't listen to me. Charles de Gaulle won't listen to me. Knowing that you are connected to London, which is news, I did not know actually that one,
Shit.
says to me that you have people's ears. You could maybe convince them that they should work with us. They should stop freezing us out. We have sent out messages when we could, and we have gotten no word back. There was a man. We were able to, through some serious work on our part, we were able to identify someone, very secretive, very difficult to find, but we did find a man. And that man is connected to London somehow. We figured it out. His accent was good, but it wasn't good enough. We had a discussion with him. It goes by the code name of Falstaff. We said to him that he should, well, we have to say we found him a bit lurking about. We tracked him down. There was a little bit of an altercation between him and my eldest, Sylvain. It did not go particularly well for that man, but we tried to speak with him about some unity between us, but he
had nothing to do with you, did he?
No, he did not. And so if you could be a voice to perhaps try to bring us together, that would be good for this war effort.
There are two things. One, when it comes to, because you know why London or Falstaff
Yes.
or why other people do not listen to you, and it's because of communism.
Yes.
I will tell you this, that I don't care about your current political views when there are Nazis everywhere threatening to shoot us all down.
Indeed.
And that is what I will champion, is that we can sort out whose political views we dislike the most when at least everyone's safe and secure behind, a desk and something. I have learned, and I've asked this question a few times, to, when I really need to know somebody, I have to ask this. This is something my mother, which you remind me a lot of, told me I should always ask somebody before I truly trust them. And that's, are you the kind of person who burns a country to save your family, or who burns your family to save a country?
Oh, that's a very difficult question. One that does not have very easy answers, now does it?
No.
I will tell you this.
but it's one that tells a whole lot about a person, doesn't it?
Hmm. Young man, I think that perhaps you do not know my family. The 3 young men you saw, all my sons. That's Jerome. You met Sylvain upstairs, and in the shop is Louis. The woman at the sewing machine, she's my daughter-in-law, Elodie. I would never have to burn them for my country, because they are standing side by side with me in this fight. They have volunteered for this fight. We are willing to do anything to save this country, including sacrifice ourselves. But it is important to note that countries are only people. The sort of ideas of the nation that we have, sort of built on capital and exploitation, that is not real. The country is not your president or prime minister or some noble of some sort. The country is the people. And in this country, we beheaded our monarch who oppressed the people in order to reclaim it. And young man, I think it would be a mistake to think that Pétain or de Gaulle or all of those people are the country. They're not. It is what we do with our hands that's the country. It is the soil that we step upon. It is the food that we eat. It is every single person in this country. That is the country. It is the people. You cannot burn your family to save the country, or burn the country to save your family, because they are the same thing. Everything else is ideology. It is fictions. France is its people. It's not its government. And we will return France to the people.
Then can I ask you one more question?
Of course, young man.
What do you consider a sandwich?
What do I consider a sandwich?
Your favorite sandwich?
My favorite sandwich?
It's the most important question Tango could ask a person.
Oh, well, I will tell you what. If you give me some time, it will be difficult because we do not have radios. If we had both of those radios, I can send one out to the countryside, which would make this so much faster. But I can send Elodie out on bicycle. It'll take her a bit of time to return. Miles and miles to go, of course. But I will alert my comrades to when would this happen? When do you need the space?
Wait, you never answered the
give me a moment. I have an answer for you. You young people, always with your hurry. Tell me, when is this flight coming?
Do I know when
it's tomorrow. Coming? It's tomorrow night.
It is tomorrow night.
Oh, well, all right. So then, I will go and send Elodie out on bicycle out to the countryside, and I will come back with all the and she will come back with all the coordinates and making sure everything is fine, that everything is ready for you, in return for those 2 radios, of course, and our ongoing friendship, which is not a cost. But what will happen in the meantime, young man, is you will sleep here on that cot. You are clearly underslept. You're clearly...
I have so much work to do.
No, I will not hear it.
People depend on me.
No, you will sleep on this cot.
To do things.
And when, young man,
jobs to do.
You will not give me lip.
People to do.
You will sleep.
That's not true.
And when you wake, young man, I will give you my favorite sandwich.
How many alliances that are shady should I make in one day?
No, not shady at all.
Well, no, I mean, you guys aren't shady. You're really nice. It's just you're communist and everyone hates you.
Well, those people, they hate... No,
I mean,
young
everyone
man.
hates you. Your own family loves you. People, you know, You look a lot like my mom, and it was really hard to say no to you because I also love soup. Uh,
Well, now,
am I
go.
a mess? I'm a mess.
Well, I'm
I'm a
going to
mess. I
listen.
should not be leading a cell, and the French resistance should not rely on people like me.
Oh, young man, we all do the best we can in this world. Listen, Mother Courage will take care of you. Sleep on the couch. I'll bring you a sandwich in about 2 or 3 hours.
Oh,
We'll
Mother
get you the
Courage, you're
things you
so
need.
nice. I bet you have a hand-stitched blanket, don't you?
I do, of course.
Fuck. I am fucked. I am so fucked.
Young man, this is good.
Oh.
This is good.
No, it's not good. You're too nice. You look like my mom. You have a hand-stitched blanket. You won't answer the sandwich question, but you're just so
I'm going to give you the sandwich, young man. It's that how. Listen, I don't believe in just words. I believe in deeds and actions. And so rather than just telling you what kind of sandwich I like, I'm going to make you a sandwich.
Don't do that. That is no. I'm not accepting your blanket. I'm not getting your sandwich. I'm going to leave.
No.
I have things to do.
Well, we have to organize this flight location for you, don't you?
Oh, we do.
Yes.
Oh,
my partisans know the countryside like the back of their hand, and we are all over there. We are building an army. We will take care of it. Come with me, young man. And she just sort of like tries to lift you
for
up.
a moment as she's doing it, and Tango isn't the best right now mentally. And I just imagine that for a moment, she looks over at Tango, right? And Tango does not see her, but actually sees his mother.
Yeah.
And he's going to curl up in whatever couch.
Yeah. It's a cot.
A cot. He's going to have this probably hand-stitched quilt blanket thing. And it's not going to, no matter how it actually smells, it's going to smell like home. And there's going to be a scene in his mind where he's come home late and he falls asleep on the couch, and it's where his mother has put a quilt on him, kisses him on the forehead, and says, I'm so proud of you for working so hard for the family. When really he was out all night doing questionable things.
And she just sort of pats your shoulder as you lie there. And she says, Jerome, we can print the rest of the newsletters later. Let the young man sleep. It's clearly been a long day for him, and we have work to do now to help support this. Don't worry, Mr. Young Man. It'll be all right.
I have to tell you something, Mama. I can't. God.
Hush, it's all right,
It's going to take a lot of convincing for London not to do terrible things to you or the Nazis.
Young man, look me in the face.
Yeah.
Let me ask you 2 questions.
Okay.
Would you burn your family for your country, or your country for your family? That's the first one. I suspect you wouldn't burn your family for your country. Am I right?
As of the last 2 or 3 months. Yeah.
And my second question. What is your favorite dinner?
My favorite dinner. My favorite dinner. Simple. Meatloaf. Just a simple meatloaf. You know what a meatloaf is?
Yes.
It's a loaf of meat.
It's also very difficult to come by in blockaded Paris. I don't think I can make you that.
Have hot dogs, or like hot dogs. If you like,
I will do my best.
Pizza, like pizza. So tired.
Sleep, young man.
Risotto. Do you have Italian food? No, you don't have Italian food.
Listen. You're clearly exhausted.
Pasta. I like Parmesan chicken.
Young man. And she sort of sits on the cot and puts your head on her lap. And she strokes your hair and she just sort of hums.
General Tso's Chinese? Anyone?
And she just sort of hums a tune
like it? Until
she can get you to sleep.
Sorry, I keep lying to you, Mom. Sorry, I'm not the man you think I am. As he goes to sleep.
And she sends off Elodie to ride the 60 or 70 miles by bicycle to get where she needs to go to get the coordinates for you. And the 60 or 70 miles back. So that... and she just says to you, she says, you know, you're so exhausted. I will send Elodie to take these coordinates to your group. Sleep. Yes? And she leaves you there.
Yeah, he's just out of it at this point. Complete of exhaustion.
And it's warm there in that basement. And maybe you can hear sort of like the hum of the machines upstairs, drowning out whatever might be conversations might be having down here. And it's just quiet, and you're in this blanket, and you, exhausted, fall asleep. And that is where we're going to end this episode.
Ooh. What a weird emotional episode. Not action-packed like the last solo session did last season.
You know, look, she was very nice to you. She gave you soup, and she's going to make you a sandwich. She's going to make you a sandwich.
I think every battle-hardened soldier can't, like, you can, like, stick me with knives or whatever, but the moment you show me some motherly, like, love and affection, and you just hear some soup, hear some kind words, it's okay. It's over with. It's done. Like, James Stiver and Tango both share that same sentiment.
Yeah. And Death Star Taco, people, if you would have to ride like 50, 60 miles out of Paris to get to the countryside to get the things you needed, and people would, and because you can't drive because there's no gas because there's a blockade. So like, it's just like, for the regular people of Paris, it's real bad. Like it is rough.
Like, you got a bicycle that takes all day. That's your day, right? And you're exhausted.
Yep. Yeah. And they're going to do that for you, and they're going to use their contacts to get you a good landing spot, which they can do.
And then I got to tell my group, who is already trying to plan to throw them under the bus. Oh, God. I made 2 very weird contacts today.
But that's kind of what you do,
you know? Emotional dilemma contacts. Yeah.
Yes. And so I will, so announcement time, of course, at the end of us. So in Fate, we're using Fate condensed with additions. You get after every episode, you get a milestone, which is like you can sort of shuffle things around to sort of just reflect where you are. But after about every 4 or so sessions, you get a breakthrough, which is actually a level up. And at the end of every solo session, you get a breakthrough. So my dearest Stiver, after this very intense moment, Tango's going to level up, and we can see what that means for him.
Well, that's a positive. So something positive happened tonight.
Plus, you made 2 different contacts.
Yeah.
Maybe
I made
3.
2 contacts. They're not actually worst contacts in the world to have, you know.
People see you as a leader. They see you as somebody
He was clearly trying to tell everyone how much he's not a leader. But there's just something about Tango.
Also, you were kind of bragging that you were a leader for a while, many times, and people hear rumors.
That was back when I wasn't actually a leader.
It's
now
true.
that I am a leader, I'm trying not to be a leader.
True.
It's
So I would like we have some bits to read out. These are bits from Rissa. Thank you, Rissa, who says Tango is so doomed when he goes back to Bricktops.
Yeah, I'm very doomed.
Chat, think about titles for our episode. I'm
doomed in a lot of ways. First off, my pseudo girlfriend and I are no longer private in where we live because now my criminal. My criminal friend knows that. You know, mama communism over there. I do not want to go and talk to Regina about it.
Lucky for you, you won't be here next week. So you're not going to have that conversation until after she finds out that she needs to give up 2 radios. Are you going to you have to let me know if you want to leave a message, send a message to her, because I imagine Mother Courage will, I imagine you're probably have some we're going to say that when they're off doing that, you are dealing with your doctor friend, perhaps. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah, we'll figure that out.
I can send a message that, here's where the drop off is going to happen. Don't worry, everything's covered.
And
please don't ask any questions.
But
just
give them 2 radios.
Also, you will need to leave 2 radios in this specific spot in this barn.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Love Tango.
I'm so excited for that note. I'm so excited.
Friendship, basket of kittens, flowers, sunflowers. Happy thoughts. Please don't murder me.
So thank you, audience, for being here for this very intense episode that was really, really the whole episode was just people being nice to Tango, really. It was just people being like, hey, let's be friends. That was the entire episode. It was just the power of friendship episode. That was it.
Oh, the power of friendship really should be the name of the episode.
And chat.
But other people have some nice, I like Face of Consequences.
Yeah.
I like Tango's date night, but I'd like to reserve that in case
you actually get a date night.
There's an actual date night.
I feel like it's gonna go well for you. It's great. I would just like to say thanks to all the peoples for being here, and dearest Stiver, whom I love. Introduce yourself. Tell us who you are, where we can find you, what you do, and give us.
I could do that.
One thing about this day, this long day, long evening into day.
Tango Soup for the Soul. I like that.
Ooh, that's a good one. Tango Soup for the Soul is really good because it hits everything.
Yes.
Yes.
Sorry, that was good job.
BP Phantom,
good job.
You got it.
BP Phantom. Thank you so much. I like that one. All right. My name is. Hello, everybody. My name is James Stiver, and it's nice to meet you. I like the proximity effect when you get close to a microphone.
Yeah.
And you can find me at Holy Stiver on everything social medias. I am about to be a little bit more active. We're about to release episodes again for the Loot and Dagger podcast. I'm starting to edit stuff again. I don't know if anyone here is an editor of any type, but
yeah.
Even though it doesn't take as long as you think it's going to take, it's a grueling, kind of brutal thing to get back into the habit of editing audio. So, it can be pretty brutal, especially when you haven't been doing it for about 5 months, about the time of the pandemic. But we are back and we are starting to record stuff. I'm actually GMing again.
Nice.
I'm getting back into that. Getting back into entertainment stuff. I'm really enjoying things like this, working with Trooper. This point, it's only working with the people I love. So Trooper, I love you. And this is why I'm working with you. So yeah, that's who I am. And oh man,
I want one thing. This is what I want for your like closing. I want one thing that is something that you are proud of that Tango did today. Even if Tango isn't proud of it, I want to know something that you're proud of.
I am proud of the scene that we created that was very intense. You know, it was me and you going back and forth where Tango was realized the revelation that it's that revelation that this is a wartime thing that's happening. Everything we're feeling right now, everything we're doing, all the camaraderie and the, you know, even the things with Sylvie and the things with Regina, when this is done, those people may not be there. And I think Tango is going through that moment where he feels like he may have to protect his past. And as much as he's grown and he's not that person, I think he's feeling like there's a part of him that feels like he has to go back when this is over. Begrudgingly or otherwise. Like there might not be another option. I think that there was just a fun scene, and I think that was a powerful scene. I think that was something that's gonna become, you know, something that's going to become bigger in the future.
Oh, I know. I'm so excited. Oh, now I remember.
Because I think he really thinks of Sigmund as like an actual friend, and his real friends is like, I don't know, like Sigmund's been there before everything else, right?
And Sigmund will...
and everyone, I do owe Sylvie a mirror, so you will have to describe the mirror being broken.
Oh, I will. I have notes right there. Break the mirror. Okay. It's right on my notes. And I want to say, chat, this is really important. Hey, chat, don't tell the cast what happened tonight. If Tango tells them, that's all right. But don't tell them, because I don't know what kinds of things that Tango will tell them, and they just shouldn't know until it comes out. So... do spoiler tags. Just chat, keep it secret. And I'm troopersjp. You can find me here on this channel every Friday. We've got, we've got 16 episodes of City of Light and Shadow. And you can find me on Fridays at 1 p.m. Eastern over at Love Laugh Lindy's for Aether's Walkway, a sci-fi game. I'll be starting back up with The Witcher on Wednesdays at 8 p.m. over on Love Laugh Lindy's channel, and that should I'll probably, like, it's currently happening, but I'll probably pick it up again. My character will probably come back in about a week or two, and you can see me, like, you know, regular here and there. And that was amazing that we got that radio goal, and we will see what else we can do. Amazing. That's amazing. Sorry about those radios, but look, they need radios too. Like, radios are... wait, Prax said I can say the thing. Okay, so there's a thing. I didn't want to, like, spoil it, but Prax gave me permission. I'm also really excited to note that I am going to be in a show which is going to be on Saturdays, starting October 3rd, and I believe our starting time is 8 p.m. I believe.
8 p.m.
And
Eastern Standard Time.
Yes.
What?
And it is if you know Sharps or any of the kind of sort of Napoleonic stuff, it's going to be a game set in a Napoleonic regiment, and we're all going to be regimental soldiers during the Napoleonic War, using a mix of, and this is going to be super cool because Prax is this very, very cool game designer as well. She did like a hack of the Sword Chronicle system, which is what is used for the Game of Thrones, to sort of create the regiment, and then also Good Society. So a hack of these two very cool systems to create this game that she's made, and we're going to do it like beginning of October.
Congratulations.
That's it. That's it, everybody. Take care of yourselves. Be kind to yourself. Be thoughtful, be kind. Remember to be inspired by the fact that there are people who really care in this world, and they might give you soup. So
they might.
Take care of yourselves all. And And I hope you all liked the new overlay stuff with the little points. And that's it.
I know I do.
Yes. Take care, everybody. Bye.
Take care of yourselves.